strip, yeah, I know she can't hold it. Yelling on your bitch even though she got COVID.
Reflect, champs.
Reflect.
Reflect. So I'ma have to put you on timeout, sit Indian style, let you stare at that nice wall in your mother's basement and reflect, champ.
It's time to take a time out and reflect, champs. While you're sitting Indian style and you're looking at your grandmother's wall in that basement, make sure you take time to reflect, champs. And while you're doing all your reflecting, make sure you go over to wearetough.com and get your merch today. That is wearetough.com. And get your merch today. Today. What you talking about?
Welcome to Showface News. You could call me what you want. Just don't call me woke, man. We live again with another one. Look, man, I ain't gonna hold y'all. If Young Thug possibly goes free, this is crazy. Now, I'm gonna tell y'all what I just seen. Salute to the sniper gang. By the way, listen, they got these witnesses up here for Young Thug right now, and these witnesses is going crazy. I'm not gonna hold you. Let's just jump right in, man. We about to witness some possible crazy history right now. Let's get right into it, man. Smash the like button, subscribe. Let's go, man.
Law enforcement present. We had that discussion as well, and we would have video surveillance. Mr. Williams would waive any privacy rights, would be in the house, and law enforcement can be present at the same time. Or, and we're not asking for this, but Mr. Williams can have 0 visitors in the house as well, except obviously his lawyers, doctors would have to go see him, and we would hope family members and business associates. But if the court says, I'm willing to give a bond, but no one's visiting him, we would take that as well, except obviously I'd like counsel to go.
Oh, you were goes without saying.
Okay.
You would be able to visit him as well as any medical providers or whatever. Okay. Anything else, sir, you want to ask Mr. Millsap?
With regards to drugs, there's allegations of drugs in the home. I heard you mention drug dog, drug testing, if the court wanted drug testing to occur.
That's correct. Again, this plan essentially contemplates addressing any and all concerns of this court and the state, frankly. And we have the ability, and I will make it my personal undertaking and responsibility to secure any and all necessary, whether it be a canine dog or any sort of drug testing, any experts we need to pull in to satisfy the court's concerns. As Mr. Steele had touched on, one of the things, Your Honor, that we wanted to ensure you of is the fact that we had in place the ability to do thorough screening. And so that's why we do have both male and female officers, so that we have gender appropriate screening and pat downs and wanding for the very purpose of keeping out anything that you deem to be restricted. And I've heard you loud and clear over the last 2 hearings about the concerns with regard to communicating and the potential of threatening witnesses. And so paramount to that is the ability to keep those devices out, to keep those prevent that very thing from happening.
And if a visitor stated, you cannot wind me, you cannot pat me down, you have constitutional rights, what would be done with that person?
They would not be allowed access.
And there'd be reports each day by each shift. Is that fair to say?
That's correct. And I'm sorry, I failed to mention that. The plan would be for the officers at the end of each shift to, during their shift, they would be generating activity logs. to be completed at the completion of their shift. And then on a once a day, we would upload to a cloud through cloud access, all 3 shifts, the reports for that day. And those could be, again, available to whoever the court designated needed access to have those, including the state. The state, I'm sorry.
And with regards to weapons, there'll be no weapons in that home. By weapons, I mean hand grenades, handguns, whatever it is. Same thing?
I think it goes without saying, there would be
Okay.
no weapons in that home. We would seek to keep all of that out.
Now, when Mr. Williams does have to come to court, would there also be provisions that he'd be transported to and from court by the sworn law enforcement officers while on bond?
Absolutely.
So he will never leave that home except in the custody control of lawful officers who are off duty but sworn. But if he refuses that, they report it to the court as a violation of bond.
That's correct.
Okay. Did you leave anything out, Mr. Middlestead?
I don't believe so.
If the court wants to hear about the different locations, Your Honor, we can do that. Otherwise, there are 4 different locations, Your Honor. Mr. Middlestead did write about them. We did redact. Obviously, we can give the state the exact addresses in this honorable court, but for privacy purposes, we did not file that with the record. And Your Honor, each one of those, or I'm asking you, Mr. Middlestead, each one of those locations, 4 locations, have they been vetted and approved for this type of detail?
Yes, I personally visited each one of those and vetted those and assessed the various features associated with those, which I have enumerated in this letter to Your Honor. And I stand ready, and I'm certainly willing to provide any more details or answer any additional questions with regard to any one of those locations.
And then finally, if this honorable court grants bond, conditionally that the house, which is chosen for Mr. Williams to reside, is then properly swept, approved, sealed, all that goes to the court and the prosecution. Prosecution can bring in people if they want as well. You would have a sworn law enforcement officer meet Mr. Williams outside of the release area of the jail at the Sally Port. Is that your understanding?
That is my understanding.
So it's not like Mr. Williams gets in a car with one of his family members. He would be right from the sheriff of Fulton County into the hands.
That's correct. He's essentially remaining in custody, but remanded to the confinement of his home.
Okay. Now, with an ankle monitor, since I gave this honorable court the option, or suggest, I don't give the honorable court anything, but suggest that if the honorable court was troubled, electronics would be removed. It's not my first choice, but if that happened, the ankle monitor, to your knowledge, can an ankle monitor work without there being electronics in the home? And if you don't have that information, there's another person here to talk about.
I'll defer to that other person.
That's fine. I want to thank you. Is there anything else that I've neglected to ask you that's important to sound court?
I don't believe so.
Okay, and the off-duty police officers, right now, they have been given approval for this type of detail?
They have, and I have been reassured of that. And as late as this morning, once again, I have reconfirmed that all of the 24 officers are still good to go.
And if there is a visitation list that has been approved by this honorable court, those visitors lists would obviously go to each detail. Is that fair to say?
Correct.
Okay. I don't have any other questions for Mr. Millsap. Thank you so much, Your Honor.
Cross, Mr. Geary. Okay, all right. So you can stand out.
We about to have the witnesses coming, y'all. The witnesses
Your Honor,
is
we
crazy.
would call Mr. Jamil Mitchell, which is Jamil. Mitchell is Mitchell.
Here you go.
He should be right here, Your Honor, coming to
Here
you.
go these witnesses,
All right,
y'all.
Mr. Mitchell, if you would please approach the witness stand. Once you get there, if you'd be so kind to turn and face Deputy Talk and be sworn as a witness, please, while you sit down.
Jamil, Janelle Mitchell, Mitchell.
Good afternoon, Mr. Mitchell.
How you doing, sir?
I'm okay. How are you, sir?
All right.
Can you do me a favor when the Honorable Court is ready? Just where were you born and raised? But let's wait for the Honorable Court. Where were you born and raised, sir?
I was born in Jersey City, New Jersey, but I've been in Atlanta since I was 4 years old.
Okay. And when you speak, just address the court.
Okay.
Shout out to Jersey.
Okay, sorry, Mr. Steele, go ahead, I apologize.
Mr. Mitchell, where were you born and raised?
Jersey City, New Jersey, but I've been in Atlanta since I was 4 years old.
And where in Atlanta area have you been since 4 years old?
I reside from Cleveland Avenue.
Okay. What's your educational background?
I went to the University of St. Augustine, then I transferred and went to the Art Institute of Atlanta after my freshman year.
And what type of study did you do?
At St. Augustine, I was doing sports management. And then when I went to the Art Institute of Atlanta, I did videography, audio engineering.
Do you have any prior criminal history?
No, sir.
In your community on Cleveland Avenue, tell this honorable court the types of works that you do.
I actually own a nonprofit organization where we have football players and cheerleaders. So we trying to push kids into sports, you know what I'm saying? Trying to get them to do something positive instead of just being around, just running around, doing nothing.
Okay. And do you know the gentleman who is on the honorable court's Zoom screen, Mr. Jeffrey Williams?
Yeah, I've been knowing Mr. Williams since he was like 13, 14.
Okay. Tell this honorable court the ties that Mr. Williams has to this community and what he does to support the community that you are in.
He actually supports my football team and cheerleading team a lot. He sponsored my football team with uniforms, banquets, buy trophies. When we do barbecues for the kid, that he helps with that. He pays to cook. Like we did a Juneteenth event one year, a barbecue, because we never heard of it. So when we heard of it, we was like, okay, this is our 4th of July. So he helped give me money for that, and we paid to cook. He helped do a lot for the community, really, when it comes to the kids and everything.
And what is he? I'm sorry, go ahead.
Just trying to push positivity with the kids.
And does Mr. Williams speak with the next generation of children to do positive things with their life?
Yes, sir. I have him plenty of times where we FaceTimed each other because, he moves around a lot. He's an international star. So he FaceTime. I put the kid on FaceTime with him. They be excited. They shocked. They be like, oh, you really know him? I'm like, yeah, this is my friend. Like, he'll come to the banquet if he get a chance or come to a game.
And does he also come to the area in Cleveland Avenue?
Yeah, he came there, passed out shoes a couple times, do community barbecues, feed the homeless. One year he came, gave out like 90 pair of shoes to the homeless and to the kids out there. Like he do stuff for the community a lot.
How old are the children in the football program?
My crew go from 5 to 13. The 13 is the cheerleaders, but from football it's 5 to 12.
And are there girls playing or a girl playing football as well?
I had a girl last year, yeah. I had a girl play football last year.
And what's the name of the organization?
Cleveland Avenue 49th Youth Organization, Development Organization.
Does Mr. Williams support that organization through the children as well as breast cancer?
Yes, I told him my grandmother passed away from breast cancer right when COVID hit. And he sponsored my football team with breast cancer uniforms. And on the uniform, you'll see his record label logo, because whoever sponsored, we put the logo on there to try to show support.
And what's that logo?
His label, Young Stoner Life Records.
YSL?
Yes, sir.
How about tell this honorable court what Mr. Williams did with Trunk or Treat?
This is around COVID time, so the kids couldn't really go trick-or-treating. And they not used to that. Like, especially like my daughters, they used to going trick-or-treating and stuff like that. So instead, I sponsored him where I teamed up with another program, another nonprofit, and we did something called Trunk or Treat, where we had people decorate their trunks. It was like going to a house, and we gave out candy, and then we gave the best trunk award.
And did you team up with law enforcement officials on that as
Yes,
well?
actually we did, because right where we practice at, I guess there's like a training academy back there, like back there by the post office, and we had police out there. We gave them food, barbecued, everything. They was there, police was there.
And Mr. Williams is integral in all these events.
Yes, sir.
With regards to children going to school, getting educated, please tell us, Honorable Court, what, if anything, Mr. Williams does for school supplies.
We did a backpack giveaway one time in our neighborhood, well, 2 times in our neighborhood, and he helped sponsor that, where he gives us the money, we go buy the backpacks, we put it together, and then we just give them out to the kids right before school starts. So make sure everybody have like supplies for school, at least for the first month of school.
And we're talking about papers, notebooks, pens, pencils, folders,
Everything
calculators.
you need. Everything you need.
And
Don't matter the grade.
And that was Mr. Williams'
Yes, sir.
power behind that?
Yes, sir.
And is this for kindergarten through high school, everybody?
Yes, sir. Kindergarten through high school.
But the entire area in Cleveland
Yeah,
Avenue?
the entire neighborhood.
And he does that often?
Yes, sir.
How about tell this Honorable Court what Mr. Williams did, if anything, involving shoe wear for people in the
Well,
Cleveland Avenue?
like I said earlier, he just popped up one day, like didn't nobody expect him to come. And then he had like 90 pair of Adidas, and he just gave them out. Like anybody, if your size was there, you could have got a pair. A lot of homeless people got a pair of shoes. So he do a lot of stuff like that. Like he just popped up that day. Didn't nobody expect him to come.
How about food for the people in the community at Cleveland Avenue?
Yeah, we do barbecues a lot. We try to do that, barbecues a lot just to feed the neighborhood. Then we did like a barbecue one time inside the apartments, and that's the same day he gave away the shoes. Like we got plenty of things we do when it comes to that stuff.
And Mr. Williams feeds people often in that community?
Yeah, we do one big barbecue every summer, but we just do barbecues when we get bored. Let's have a barbecue.
That nigga Thug handed out French, y'all.
Have a DJ come out there.
You might
the
go
DJ.
free.
And
Right.
this is all Mr. Williams
Yes, sir.
giving back to the
Nigga
community.
Thug
Yes, sir.
giving Franks to the community, nigga.
How about assisting in an effort to have children read and being interested in reading? Does he do anything with that?
Yes, sir. I had a book company, and I told him about it. And then what I did, like, whenever I got ordered kids' books, I would give them out to my kids' school. Or, you know, if you go in the neighborhood, like I stay downtown, you go in the neighborhood where they got put a book in and take a book out. Well, I just leave the books and I wouldn't take no books out. Or I give the books to my daughter. I think she was in like the 6th grade when we started doing that. And I'd be like, you take some and give some to your friends or your teachers. And he helped sponsor that because during COVID, when my company was having a bad time, I told him like, man, I'm having a bad time. And he helped me buy books. And then whenever I buy kids books, I just give them back to the school.
How about Mr. Williams actually speaking to people in the area? Does he do that?
Yeah, all the time. He's a motivator. Everybody know that. Like, without Jeffrey Williams, I'm gonna keep it real. Without Jeffrey Williams in the neighborhood, I don't know if y'all ever been to Cleveland Avenue, but without him, the neighborhood would be terrible. Like, you got to think about all the people he helped motivate. Before rapping, it wasn't nothing else to do. He helped motivate people to rap, and I seen other people from my neighborhood get deals and become stars and do what they had to do. See what I'm saying? So to me, and I know to a lot of other people, he's a motivator to us. You know what I'm saying? Because before that, didn't nobody motivate us. We either were playing sports or running around.
Did you ever hear Mr. Williams talk to the people in the community, the vast number of people in the community, about staying in school?
All the time. He tell you that all the time. He got that. He tell people that all the time.
And what does he tell them?
Stay in school. That's the best way to do. What else you gonna do? Become a lawyer. Become, you know what I'm saying? Get into sports. Become a rapper, entertainer. Be a manager like me. I'm a music manager. Like, he motivated me to do that.
You ever hear Mr. Williams say something to the effect of be a thinker, not a criminal?
Most definitely.
And he tells that to the children
Yes.
and the parents.
Yes, sir.
And it doesn't have to be hopelessness.
No, sir.
Is that true?
Yes, sir.
Okay. How about,
They want that house arrest bad, huh?
you know anything about Mr. Williams paying for the bond of strangers from the Fulton County Jail just because they couldn't afford their bond?
Yeah, I was actually there in the meeting when they was talking about it. Like, we're gonna pay for bond for people with bonds who can't afford bond. I'm like, bro, that's cool. Like, nobody does that. Like, you gotta think, Atlanta been the hub for music for what, the last 20 years? Name a rapper who ever bonded people out he never knew, never met before, and takes them out to eat.
All of the items that you talked about,
He's a good guy,
does Mr.
y'all.
Williams want any credit for that? Does he ever say, hey, put my name on this, tell people I'm doing it?
No, not at all. He's not that type of person. He don't want that type, like, he don't care about that. Like, he don't care about the credit. He sit back and watch it. And I watch him, because I don't know how other people, but I watch him. I see him. I'm like, yeah, he happy. Like, he did something for the community. Because nobody did that for us coming up. See what I'm saying?
And he doesn't publicize it to your knowledge, he just does it.
He just does it for sure. He might just call you and be like, hey, let's barbecue. Call everybody, tell everybody come. Everybody there, everybody eat. Don't nobody go hungry at all.
Your Honor, if the court would allow my coworker, I'm honored to work with Ms. Courtney Edwards, Courtney C-O-R-T, anyway, to get on your Zoom link. She's in your courtroom, but she cannot access it.
Oh, we got
I'd
more.
like to, with the court's permission, show the court a photographs and the prosecution
Got more witnesses coming
for
through,
Mr.
y'all.
Mitchell to explain.
Where are they, sir?
Oh, it's in Colette's. It's in my wife's name, Your Honor.
Oh, this nigga done gave Franks to the community and all that. Nigga, he might be free, champ.
So you want me to admit your wife so that she can show me these pictures?
Yes.
Yeah,
but
show
it
him
will
the
be
Franks,
an
yeah, show-
alias because it's Courtney.
Show him how
Edwards.
many
It's
Franks he
actually,
gave the community.
must be on that
Yeah,
device.
show him. Yeah, champ.
I see your better half on here, but I don't see.
Much better. I agree with the court.
But I don't see Miss Edwards.
Right. She said that she's using my device that is in my wife's name, I assume.
All right, okay.
Oh, man. Nigga said he gave a lot of Franks to the community, nigga. That might change the judge's mind. Oh, Franks. you might not be that bad after all,
So
champ.
Mitchell, if you can look at what Miss Edwards just displayed on the screen. Miss Edwards, if you could blow that up at all. Is that a representation, an example of some of the one of the uniforms?
Yes, actually, that's one of the uniforms he helped sponsor.
And you see the logo you were talking about?
Yes, sir.
And that's YSL.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And it's the 49ers, the Cleveland Avenue 49ers.
Yes, sir. We're
All
playing in City League.
One more time.
We're playing in City League, yeah. So
Congratulations and thank you. Okay. Next, Miss Edwards. Do you recognize, can you blow it up, Miss Edwards? Do you recognize what this is?
that's our trunk or treat the year we had.
And that's what you explained?
Yes, sir.
And that's by Mr. Williams. I know he's not named on there, but that was his,
Yeah,
that was
yeah,
him
yeah.
doing that.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And that was all for the children,
Yes, sir.
so they can have Halloween. Is that true?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next, please.
That was a Juneteenth barbecue.
And Mr. Williams, again, without taking any credit, he's the one who was behind that.
Yeah, he helped sponsor the food, helped pay for the cook, everything.
And you called it our 4th of July.
Yes, sir.
And this was just brand new information. People
Yeah,
in
that
that
was
area.
something we never knew about. So when we heard it, it was the idea.
And Mr. Williams wanted people to be educated.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Next, please. What is it?
That's the football team right there.
And all those uniforms, all the Gatorades, all the equipment,
Yes, sir.
who pays for all that?
He paid for the uniform this year. We was doing the equipment and everything.
Perfect. Okay, next one.
Yes, you can see the logo more often. You can see me out there coaching.
Okay, next one, please.
It was the cook. This one we went to buy the food for the Juneteenth event.
And that's the cook who's going to buy all the supplies?
Yes,
And
sir.
Mr. Williams is backing all this?
Yes, sir.
Okay, next one, please.
This was the event. I don't know if y'all want to play the video.
With the court's permission, Ms. Edward, can you play it for a moment? Is that okay,
you
Your
can
Honor?
see kids out there running around, everybody having a good time. They tore down the volleyball thing the kids did. We had them out there playing volleyball. This is actually the park that we practice at, and it's the same park we had the trunk or treat at. And right behind here, on top of that hill, is what I'm telling y'all, the police academy, or the volleyball thing up. That was the police academy up there, where the police came and helped us.
Now, maybe you can't tell from the video, but many people come to this?
A lot of people come. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Next, please.
This was the video when he came to the neighborhood.
Your Honor, with the court's permission, can Ms. Edwards play that, please?
And he gave out the shoes.
Yes.
Thank you. And this is just Mr. Williams just coming?
Yeah, we didn't even know he was coming. He just came, and then everybody came out. Once they heard he was there, he gave out shoes to the community. A lot of homeless people got shoes.
And that's Mr. Williams right there?
Yes, sir.
Coming back to the community.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Them niggas want that house
Mr.
arrest
Mitchell,
died.
we are here for a motion. And a motion is it's a term being used a lot in courts, but we're asking this honorable court to consider releasing Mr. Williams on a pretrial bond.
Yes, sir.
Okay. On your oath, knowing Mr. Williams the way you have since he was 13 years of age, do you have any evidence or belief that if granted bond by this honorable court, Mr. Williams would flee the jurisdiction of the court? What that means is he would not come back to court.
No, he definitely come to court.
Do you know if Mr. Williams has family in this area?
In Atlanta?
Yes.
I know his whole family. Yeah, so he's never leaving his family.
His whole family's here.
Yeah, I know his whole family.
Same on your oath, any evidence or any belief, any speculation that if granted bond, Mr. Williams would obstruct justice,
No, he wouldn't obstruct.
bribe a juror,
No, never.
intimidate a witness.
Never.
If granted bond, do you have any evidence that Mr. Williams would be a risk to commit a crime while out on bond?
Never.
And if granted bond, do you have any evidence that Mr. Williams would be a danger to any person in the community or any property in the community?
Never. He's a motivated by our community. So I can't see him hurting nobody.
When you say a motivator, does Mr. Williams actually talk to people in the community about being lawful?
All the time. We can get, if y'all want, we can bring hundreds of people in here from the community, and they can tell you one by one, he motivated. Like, if you got I got a buddy who cut grass. If you cut grass, he'll help buy you more equipment to cut grass. Like, this what you want to do? Okay, do it, and do it 100%. He got to think. He stayed down with music, and we seen him go to the top and say the same thing. Stay down. You can have 3-4 lawnmowers. You can be hiring people. Like, that's how I look at him. I know, and a lot of people look at him like that as a motivator. If they didn't, we wouldn't be in here supporting him.
I want to thank you so much. The prosecution, this honorable court may have questions for you.
Okay.
Scared?
Hey, y'all leaving some wild comments, man. Y'all don't even understand how this shit
Yeah,
works. I ain't gonna hold y'all. Some of y'all don't.
Mitchell, thank you very much. You can stand down. sir.
Okay. Have a nice day, Judge.
Have a seat, McGarry. Thank you. You're welcome.
Your Honor, we will call, thank you so much.
Yo, this is
Mr.
funny,
Corey
bro. I ain't gonna lie.
What's Mr. Jackson going to testify
Oh,
to?
Mr. Jackson. Let's
Your
go,
Honor, he
champ.
is, a young man.
How many witnesses do you have, Mr. Steele?
Come on, Steel.
6, Your Honor.
6 witnesses is crazy. I ain't
Okay,
gonna lie.
What's the next witness going to testify to?
Your Honor, he's a young man. He's just turned 15 years of age. He met Mr. Williams when he was 8 years of age. He was selling CDs in the perimeter mall. Mr. Williams, he was in poverty. He's from Jackson, Mississippi. His family's here as well in your courtroom. Mr. Williams explained to him that
Hang tight. Mr. Steele, if it is your goal to establish that Mr. Williams has significant ties in the community, I believe that you've established that to the court's satisfaction. Not that I don't want to hear your witnesses, but it's cumulative at this point in time. I mean, if that's the purpose of these next witnesses, unless they go to some other bond factor, you know, I'm kind of really at this point in time, I'm not really interested in hearing from him at this point.
Well, he goes to more to a different factor, Your Honor.
And what is that?
Danger to the community, which is what I thought the state is arguing.
Okay, all right. If he's going to danger the community, all right. Come on up, young man. Please approach the witness stand. Once you get there, if you'd be so kind, turn face after you talk and be sworn as a witness. Well, hold the stand before you. Okay, go ahead.
You raise your right hand. You swear in front of the testimony I will give the whole truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes, sir.
You can take a seat. State and spell your first and last name.
Corey Jackson, COREYJACKSON.
Good afternoon, Mr. Jackson.
Thank you. Good afternoon to you.
It's up to the court, and it's also up to you if you want to take off your mask with the honorable court's permission. If you want to keep it on, you absolutely keep it on.
Okay.
Your choice, young man.
I'd like to take it off then.
Mr. Jackson, introduce yourself to the court. Tell the court what you do.
Well, I'm Corey Jackson. I'm a recording artist, motivational speaker, and actor.
And are you in school?
Yes, sir.
What grade are you in?
I'm in the 11th as of right now.
And you're 15 in the 11th grade?
Yes, sir.
How did you do that?
Well, I'm homeschooled and I stay up on my studies and I work on that.
Do you remember meeting a gentleman named Mr. Jeffrey Williams?
Most definitely, yes, sir.
Do you see him on this honorable court's Zoom screen?
Yes, sir.
And how did you meet Mr. Williams?
Well, the first time I ever met him was in the mall. It was in Cumberland Mall. I was probably 8 or 9 at the time. I had first met him with my music and I approached him and I didn't know who he was. But later on that day, after I had met him, I found out who he was as far as an artist, and I found out more about him. And then when I really met him and we made the connection, made the bond, was later on when I was like 10 or 11 years old at the time.
And were you in, I know it's personal, but were you in poverty at that time, if you know what I'm talking about?
Yes, sir. I understand what you mean.
And where were you living at that time?
Well, I'm from Jackson, Mississippi originally, so down there it's called Cornwell Street, Shady Oaks, Christian Brotherhood.
And is your father in the courtroom?
Yes, sir.
And other family members?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Tell this honorable court if Mr. Williams ever took you to where he was raised on Cleveland Avenue.
Yes, sir, he has.
And tell the court what you learned from that and what the purpose was.
Well, at the time, he took me there because I always expressed to him how at me being at such a young age, being able to achieve what I have and have the knowledge that I do have, that's why I started motivational speaking, because I want to inspire the youth and show them that anything is possible. Because you can look at somebody while they're old and you say, oh, that's good, they doing it. But now you have an example that's your age and close to you in age that's showing you that it's possible. And Mr. Williams, he took me to where he was from. And he showed me where he came from. He showed me the property that he lived in. And he told me, a saying, each one teach one, which is something that he lives by. He has also helped instill in me that I live by now. Each one teach one. And he told me whatever knowledge you have to be able to spread it, because this is who you are trying to inspire and show them that they can become successful. So that is what he took me there for, and to show me how he was able to achieve what he has and where he comes from. And what I have to do if I want to motivate more young people like me.
And tell this honorable court whether you have gone across our country talking to other students, people your age and younger at schools.
Yes, sir, I have. I've did different things like different school tours and doing motivational speeches for different organizations like the Boys and Girls Club and different things of that nature, and different youth centers, detention centers, of course, schools. Yes, sir, I have.
And has Mr. Williams put upon you the duty that you have to always be positive and try to get other people not to do crime And
Yes, sir, he has, and he has always motivated me in that goal and that mission. He has always showed me that path and always deterred me from anything that could be negative or affect me in a negative way. He always deterred me from that and showed me the right way and showed me a positive way to do anything I have going on.
Has Mr. Williams taken you on tour with him, with your family's permission, and taken your family?
Yes, sir, he has.
And if you can remember, what are some of the places that you went with Mr. Williams?
Atlanta, Georgia, Los Angeles, California, St. Louis, Chicago, New York. I've been to New Orleans with them before, many different places, Tampa, and some more places. It's been a lot.
Houston, Texas?
Houston, Texas, Dallas, Texas.
Okay. And have you been on stage with Mr. Williams and talking to people about all positive, motivating in a positive direction?
Well, yes, sir. I have been on stage with them, and we have also made motivational videos with motivational messages.
And when you go to schools, is that with Mr. Williams' request?
Yes, sir.
And what do you tell the other children when you're there?
Well, first, I speak on my 5 keys to success, which are hard work, determination, dedication, motivation, and ambition. And I show them how you can utilize, if you are utilizing these 5 keys to success, how you yourself can become successful. And that is also what he helps and he sponsors me with. And when I go through the schools, I also speak on things that aren't at this stage in life taught, because while you're in school, you're going off of your report card. But when you get out of school, you're going to go off your credit report. And that's why I also teach and speak on financial literacy.
Mr. Jackson, do you ever have conversations with Mr. Williams about your, the way you are outlooked, and it has to be positive, as opposed to some people look at him with the name, quote, young thug? Does he ever explain to you that not to do that?
Well, actually, we have had conversations, and he has been very vocal about not liking the image that is associated with the name Young Thug, because whenever you picture that, you assume, he's a thug. And that's why we have talked, he has discussed with me how he would like to reevaluate and reshape his image into his name, Jeffrey, and how he would like to go forth with that being his name. And that's what people associate with him, Jeffrey, instead of the image of Young Thug.
Is it Mr. Williams' communications with you that he wishes that people do not do drugs or alcohol or be a danger to the community?
Yes, sir. He has expressed that to me, and he has also expressed that to many others.
And does he use you as a lightning rod to express it to other people?
Yes, sir. He has, and he still does.
What is YS? Are you a member of YSL?
Well, I'm not signed to the label on papers.
What is YSL to you?
Well, to me, YSL is a family. To me, YSL is, ever since I first met him, it's been all love, all respect, and it has been pure. And for me, when we spoke on it, other than, the name of the label, Young Stoner Life Records, I told him my YSL means Young Successful Life, because that's something that he has created. He is a young, successful man himself.
That boy
but
good.
Also he is helping more young men and young women have successful lives, such as myself, for example. And that's why my YSL stands for Young Successful Lives, because that is what he has done, and that is what he is now creating and showing and putting into the community.
That nigga rapping now, nigga. He
so
rapping.
Has Mr. Williams' tutoring and guidance to you taken you out of poverty and your family?
Yes, sir, it has.
Has Mr. Williams ever asked you for a nickel?
No, sir. He has never asked for no profit or proceeds from anything that he has helped contribute with. Never.
Your Honor, with the court's permission, Mr. Edwards has a very short video that relates to Mr. Jackson.
Okay, what's it supposed? I mean, he's testifying, so it's kind of like so.
It'll explain background.
I don't see the dangerousness in this, Mr. Steele. I mean, he certainly buttresses again what I had indicated earlier, which is he has significant ties. He's helped a number of people in the community. But I don't see the danger of the community that you promised me from the testimony.
He's the opposite. I think that
nigga
my
Thug had
promise
the
is
gray
good. Mr.
hands.
Jackson is saying that the entirety of Mr. Williams' desires is that people do not commit crime, do drugs, do violence, and to stay in school. That pinpoints the whole Daniel community is risk of crime, risk of committing crime. He's doing he's Mr. Williams through, and along with Mr. Jackson, diametrically opposed.
Okay, all right. But this video, you want to show me, how long is it?
2 minutes.
And what's it going to show me?
It'll show you Mr. Jackson on the Ellen Show. It'll show him on CNN. It'll show him interacting with Mr. Williams, interacting at schools, just to give you an idea of how this message is all across the country.
I think he's testified that more significantly. I mean, I'll accept the video as proof of that, further proof of that particular issue, but I think Mr. Jackson here has well articulated that issue.
Okay.
Okay.
Then I have no other questions for Mr. I want to thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, sir, and thank you, Your Honor, for allowing me the time to come and speak.
Oh, you're very welcome, young man. Any questions, Mr. Geary? No, sir. All right, young man, you can step down and seat in the gallery if you like.
That boy
I'd like
good,
to proffer
man.
the next person then.
Okay, who's your proffer?
Your Honor, she would like to be identified as Diamond, Diamond. I have a video of her, a news video, if you want to see it, but in the sake of time, but we have that if you want to see it. She was raised on Cleveland Avenue. She lost her child, her son, to gun violence. He was murdered. She heads a team to stop gun violence. She's partnered with Trayvon Martin's mother, Breonna Taylor's mother, and unfortunately countless other persons known and unknown who've lost family members to violence. And Mr. Jeffrey Williams, she would testify, is instrumental with trying to stop gun violence and trying to get people not to think that this is a video game and shooting is okay, and that everybody needs to speak about their controversies and their disputes and put down the guns. And she wanted that to be known, and there is a video if you want to see it, but otherwise that is my proffer.
I'll accept your proffer. That's fine, sir.
Now, next is, he's a witness here, Mr. Kevin Lyles, which is Liles, and he has known Mr. Williams since Mr. Williams has been just an adult, and we'd like him to come and talk about the factors for bond. He is with the record label, Your Honor, and he has come here to give testimony on behalf of Mr. Williams, and he flew here he was out of state. He lives in New York, but I don't know where he flew here from.
Hold on, y'all. We almost got 500 people in the room. Make sure you smash the like button. I only got 62 likes, man. Make sure you smashing that like button. I only got 62 likes. Please smash the like button. There's no way we almost got 500 in the room and I only got 62 likes. We need to smash that like button, please. Smash the like button so you can continue. Please smash the like button. I need to see way more likes on this video. There's no way in hell that I got 62 likes and almost 500 people in the room. Unacceptable. We need to see the like button get smashed, and I can continue this video. Smash that like button, please. Please smash the like button, y'all. Ain't no way I got that many people in here and we not getting them like smashed. Let's proceed, y'all.
All right, where's Mr. Lyles?
He is right here, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Lyles, good afternoon, sir. If you could please approach the witness stand. Once you get there, be so kind to turn and face Deputy Talton, the sworn as witness. Before you sit down, hold on.
Raise your right hand. You swear in front of the testimony in court, truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you. All right, you take your seat. State and spell your first and last name.
Kevin Lyles, Kebin Liles.
Kevin
Good afternoon,
Lyles.
sir.
How you doing, Mr. Steele?
I'll let you know. Can you do me a favor and give the Samba Court, educate the Samba Court on who you are, your
That's
background?
an industry
what you're
nigga.
not.
Your Honor, I'm a 54-year-old father of four. I'm kind of emotional because how good this guy is. I have Morgan State University. I built a stadium in my old school. I have a street named after me. I have all kind of honorary doctorates. I employed probably 5,000 people. I was the president and CEO of Def Jam. I've been in this music called hip hop for 38 years. And for the life of me, I don't understand why I have to testify the good that hip hop has done around the world. I've also started a company with Jeffrey called Young Stoner Life. And I remember what he said to me. We're not just starting a company, we're gonna change some lives. And that's what he's done. And he's definitely changed mine.
Blood clot. Yo, bro. You got Kevin Lyles. Bro, you got Kevin Lyles to come to the witness stand with fake tears is crazy. Bro, do y'all know? Yeah, they try to get this nigga the fuck up out of there. Yeah, I'm not gonna hold you. Do y'all know how crazy this is? That's like having That's like having Diddy come up as a witness, bro. Come on, bro. I gotta pause the video quick because this is wild, bro. This is crazy. Y'all don't even understand how crazy this is. But let's proceed, man.
Mr. Lyles, how long have you known Mr. Williams?
I was a fan for probably 12 years, but I personally got to know him over the last 10 years.
Okay. And have you signed, or your company signed Mr. Williams?
Yes, he signed to us. And I hate to say that he signed to us because it's my partner, but we have two deals. One deal is a deal for him as an artist, solo artist, and the other deal is for Young Stoner Life.
And I know this is personal, but financially, there's been testimony that if this trial, and I'm not saying the court would allow it, but if it doesn't take place for a year, there'd be over $1 million in expenses just for 24-hour security of police officers to ensure, off-duty police officers' second jobs to ensure Mr. Williams does not flee, does not get types of weapons, does not intimidate a witness, is not a danger to community or property in the community. Can he afford, from your personal knowledge and how much money he earns, can he afford that type of undertaking?
Jeffrey can afford it, and I can afford it, so it will be paid for.
And you are willing to back him as well?
I'm willing to back him personally and professionally.
Okay. Please explain, if you can, and discuss fully how your life intersected with Mr. Williams' life.
My job is to seek out talented people. And I think God brought us together in a very weird way, but I think we were meant to be together. Jeffrey is not just an artist. He's an influencer. He is a person that I think was put here to change the people around him. And he's so talented. He's creative, he's innovative, and he's fearless. He's a risk taker. And those kind of people, I call them change agents. I'm not signing just artists. I'm raising a young man. He looks at me as a father figure. He's not, like I said, we can't limit it to just his lyrics or his music. He's a young man, and he will be a contributing citizen to this world. And that's what I invest in. And I truly believe this whole thing that people are talking about, it's not him. The Jeffrey I know give me clothes off his back. The Jeffrey I know, I can give him my kids, he can give me his kids. That's the Jeffrey I know.
You mentioned lyrics. There's been a lot of argument by the prosecution about the lyrics in songs. Can you explain, if you have the insight, what is selling in the rap industry dealing with the lyrics, and why are they being promoted, and why are people wanting it?
Your Honor, you've, I mean, I don't know how old you are, but no.
Older than you.
So I've been fighting this battle for over 40 years. It's not new. And it's funny how we're the #1 music in the world now, and they want to bring this back up. Now, we don't argue about any other movies or other genres of music that talk about I ran them over in my truck, or I got drunk and I went and shot him. We don't bring those things to court. But quote unquote, our music, we've been on trial. And we constantly on trial about who we are, what we are, and why. And nobody gave us nothing. So we sit here on trial, we talk about lyrics. Lyrics, I don't understand the thing. I'm gonna be here and I'm gonna keep fighting for it because I believe self-expression. And I believe we should protect Black art. We should protect Black art. And I'm on trial for lyrics. Come on, man.
With regards to Mr. Williams, and the court may not be familiar, where does he rank in, if there is such a ranking, in the music industry?
Objection, Judge, that's not relevant to anything.
Shows his employment status, it's part of the Ayala factors, and whether the record company is going to continue to back him.
I think you've already established that to the witness. He's needs to potentially be on alternative release.
Okay. You understand that Mr. Williams was charged in 2018 in DeKalb County with a offense of involving, he was riding in a car with 2 other people, and there was a gun and a small amount of drugs in the car. Are you familiar with what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Okay, and you know that case is still pending, believe it or not, but it went up to the appellate court. I don't know, are you familiar with all that?
Yes.
Everything was suppressed by the Honorable Superior Court judge in another county, and then the state appeal got reversed and it's pending. You're
Yes.
aware of that?
Yes.
Okay. So Mr. Williams is actually on bond for that case.
Okay.
The allegation also entails the fact that when Mr. Williams was arrested at the home here in Atlanta, a search warrant was then executed at that home, and there were multiple firearms. One firearm is allegedly illegal. It turned into like a machine gun. And there were supposedly about 2 pounds of marijuana and some items in, looks like an energy drink, but it supposedly contains either Schedule 2, 3, or 4 drugs in it, codeine, supposedly. You familiar with that?
I read it.
Okay. Understanding all those facts, the DeKalb County case, current bond, and the search of the home, you're also aware that many other people were in that house at the time of the search warrant, right?
Yes.
Okay. I'd like to ask you the following questions in addition to the fact that we are charging 2 counts in this current indictment. You're familiar with the RICO conspiracy and the gang
Yes.
count? Okay. On your oath, would you be willing to back with your own personal property and wealth, or as well as your own company's personal property and wealth, the bond for Mr. Williams if the Honorable Court wanted a high bond?
Objection, Judge, it's ask and answer. The witness actually has already stated that, and I agree.
Yeah, he already said
I very clearly heard.
he put up his own and his company's resources. So I'll stand the objection.
Would you be willing, okay, if it's the same question, I apologize, but I thought it's a different question. You have to understand that you would, if the court wanted to, you would lose that wealth if Mr. Williams violated condition of bond. I mean, it's not just go on bond with Mr. Williams in custody, you're released. The court could have you signed as a co-signer on that bond, and you would actually have a lien against your wealth if Mr. Williams violated condition of bond. Are you still willing to do that?
Like a son to me. Yes.
Okay. Without hesitation, obviously.
Without hesitation.
All right. Do you believe that if granted bond on your oath, Mr. Williams would intimidate any witness?
Nah.
Obstruct the administration of justice?
No.
be a danger to the community or property in the community,
Not at all.
and a risk to commit a crime while out on bond.
No, not at all. He has too much respect for me and too much respect for the company that we're building and too many people that depend on him. It's not about Jeffrey. It's why it's about the family. It's about the community. You know, he understands. He's inspiring the world right now. There's a kid that he changes their life every day. I really believe that.
For the better?
For the better.
I have one last question for you. If this honorable court granted bond, but it was very, very restricted. Mr. Williams is not coming out to studios. He's not doing videos. Speaking with him may be curtailed. Is your record label still willing to keep him as a vibrant member of SIN?
That's my partner.
And just for the court's edification, I think you just said, but Mr. Williams not only an artist, he's an owner of the company, right?
He's a businessman. I told him hip hop has given him a way to be an entrepreneur, a way to empower people, a way to educate people. And he has a responsibility. He knows that with this success comes responsibility. And we made a commitment to each other that we're going to do this for the rest of our life.
I want to thank you so much.
Thank you, Ron.
Hold on 1 second. Say, any questions?
No questions.
Okay, all right. Then I'll release you.
They try and make them play. They try and get this nigga fuck up out of there immediately. Niggas got Kevin
I'd like
live.
for the next person, he is on your Zoom. Thank you for letting
They about to get Diddy
come
up
in.
there next, nigga.
And if I say anything wrong, I would just ask.
They about to
for
get
the court's
Jay-Z up there,
permission.
nigga.
If Mr. Garfield, Garfield, Larmond, Larmond Jr. would make sure that I am
Who's
corrected,
next?
because I'm not trying to say anything wrong.
Oh
What's
man.
Mr. Larman gonna tell me?
Your Honor, he would say the following. He's a part of the management team for Mr. Jeffrey Lamar Williams II, also known as the performer Young Thug. Mr. Larman graduated from Georgia Southern University with a bachelor's degree in business marketing. In 2015, he met Mr. Jeffrey Williams in the Atlanta, Georgia area. At the time, Mr. Larman was pursuing a goal of his career of photography, but soon found himself receiving the opportunity to put his college degree to work on the management side. Despite his young age and lack of experience, Mr. Williams gave him the opportunity to learn how to manage and get involved in the music industry. But now moving forward to 2002, he would state that he has built a strong, well-rounded, and positive relationship with Mr. Williams, a relationship that he upholds with the utmost respect. As an individual in society, he would testify, Your Honor, that Mr. Williams is kind, well-spoken, intelligent, and a giver to the community. Not only does Mr. Williams influence millions of listeners around the world with his music, he does so with his actions as well. During the holidays, Mr. Williams ensures anonymously to give back to the community through toy drives in the city of Atlanta, donations to various organizations such as Planned Parenthood, to the Cancer Society, and others to support causes that affect people around the world. Just recently, in 2021, Mr. Williams, along with the record label, paid bond for numerous inmates in the Fulton County jail system in an effort to reunite people with their families, show them no matter what, they've not been forgotten or lost. And Mr. Williams didn't know any of these people and didn't ask for anything from them. Mr. Williams is a family man. He has his parents, 6 children, brothers and sisters, all right here in the Atlanta, Georgia area. If Mr. Williams is not working and bringing his talents to the stage outside of the state, he spends every holiday and celebration in Atlanta with his family. Mr. Williams' family gathers together for dinners, Christmas celebrations, birthday celebrations, and they have recently purchased a home for future family gatherings not too far from this courthouse. Mr. Larman would tell this honorable court on his oath that there is no world where Mr. Williams would abandon his side of the family and children in order to avoid fighting this case. His family and the community are both large pillars in his life, and they both support Mr. Williams throughout every court date and every step of this upcoming trial. Mr. Williams has never been convicted of a crime. He has never missed a court date. And Mr. Larman has personally traveled the world with Mr. Williams. They have performed on every single continent, Your Honor, except Antarctica. Mr. Williams has performed in front of as many as 300,000 people. And he always returns to the state of Georgia with no issue. Mr. Larman's oath backs Mr. Williams for pretrial bond. Mr. Larman was also at the home at the time of Mr. Williams' arrest. He would testify, and it's on video, the surveillance video, that there were many other people in that home. Mr. Williams did not have a gun. Mr. Williams did not flee when the police came to the home. I received telephone calls from Mr. Larman. I received a telephone call from Mr. Williams. I told Mr. Williams, no one's going to hurt you. Surrender peacefully to law enforcement. He asked me to please come to that area. I came to his home. Mr. Williams was then, after I got there, escorted out of the house. He did nothing wrong. He was actually drawing in the house. There are drugs and guns in that home, according to law enforcement. Mr. Williams, I've interviewed these people already. They hide those items from Mr. Williams. He can be drug tested. He's been drug tested, by the way, since 2018. Mr. Larman would testify to what I just said. If I am wrong, Mr. Larman, though, you have to correct me because this honorable court takes that as your testimony.
Yeah, I will accept that, Mrs. Crawford, okay?
Thank you, sir.
All right. Anything else?
Yes, sir. Your Honor, this is Jeff, which is Geoff, Ogunlesi, and he is in your courtroom.
What's he going to testify to?
Your Honor, he is very close with Mr. Williams. He's a very accomplished young man. He's very, very well known in the music industry. He will testify that in 2018, I received word that there was a warrant from DeKalb County for Mr. Williams' arrest. Mr. Williams was actually performing at that time in Las Vegas, Nevada. Mr. Williams, it was the first ever tour with a performer known as J. Cole, Your Honor. And when Mr. Williams was informed that there was a warrant from DeKalb County, he immediately left the tour, missing several dates of the tour and significant income. He turned himself voluntarily in. I was with him, Your Honor, to the sheriff in DeKalb County, and he would testify that Mr. Williams will comply with all conditions of bond, and he will not be a flight risk because Mr. Williams' commitment to the law, to the family, to his family, to his musical career, and his roots here in the Atlanta, Georgia area. And that if Mr. Williams did become a fugitive, he would end all of his contractual obligations, all of his money would end, and all of his royalties would end because he's, as a fugitive, nobody would deal with him. It would be harboring a fugitive. Mr. Ogunlesi, Your Honor, is the vice president, current vice president of A&R for 300 Entertainment and vice president of Young Stoner Life Records. It's a record label that was created by Mr. Williams. Mr. Williams, by the way, Your Honor, is CEO of that record label. Mr. Ogunlesi has worked since the inception of the 300 Entertainment company in 2014 and for Young Stoner Life Records since that inception, since 2016. Young Stoner Life Records has become a hugely successful Black-owned company enjoying millions of records sold. In 2020, he also became Mr. Williams' personal manager and has been working on a one-on-one relationship with Mr. Williams since Mr. Williams' ascension to stardom. But he'll also tell you that his relationship transcends Mr. Williams as an artist, a record label, or a business partner. They've developed a deep friendship. He would tell the court that Mr. Williams has achieved the following successes. He was 2017, Your Honor, MTV Music Video Awards.
Why
Best
does any of
Editing.
that shit matter?
He won that. 2017 United Kingdom Music Video
What the
Award.
fuck does that do for his case?
Video of the Year, Best Urban Video, Best Editing Video. He
What the
won
fuck
that.
does that mean, yo, bro?
2018
It's a RICO
MTV
case, my
Music
nigga.
Video Awards. His Video of the Year. That was a song called Havana with
Yo, bro.
another great artist.
Respectfully,
He
this
won
ain't
that.
doing a motherfucking
2018
thing, my nigga.
American Music Awards, Collaboration of the Year,
Bro, it should be
Video
found on
of the
Wikipedia,
Year,
my
as
nigga.
well as
What did
Favorite
you
Pop
repeat
and
this
Rock
shit?
Song. He won that. 2019,
Yo, bro.
Mr. Williams won Grammy Awards for Song of the Year.
Ah, that nigga.
2020 Soul Train Music Awards. Mr. Williams was the best collaboration as well as the
And
best
the
dance
judges
performance.
don't give a fuck, nigga.
Won that. 2022, the Grammy Awards.
Hey, Chad.
Album of the Year went
Hey.
to Mr.
Hey, you hear me,
Williams.
nigga?
2022
Nobody fucking cares.
XXL Awards, Your Honor. Video of the Year. Mr. Williams was deemed the winner of that. Also in 2014, BET or
Yo, bro. You might as well say
Hip Hop Awards.
you might as
Mr.
well say the
Williams
nigga won the best dance at the talent show
was nominated
in
for
2006.
Who Blew Up,
Feel me?
Make You Look
Nobody give a
Award,
fuck.
and Best Banger Award. 2015 BET Awards, Your Honor. Coca-Cola Viewers
Oh, my
Choice
God.
Award was nominated for Mr. Williams. 2017 United
Bro,
Kingdom Music
respectfully.
Award. Vivo Must See Award.
Respectfully.
2017 Music Video Awards.
Why
Best Production
does this
Designer
matter?
in a Video. 2018 MTV Music
Bro.
Awards. Song.
Jack, at this time, this is nothing but repetitive.
Facts.
It's
Yeah.
It's pretty impressive to show who we're dealing with, Your Honor.
Yeah, champ.
But you
What is he talking
established,
about?
I think his ties in his head, so I'll accept Mr. Ogensay's proffer and what he would say.
Yeah, nigga don't give a fuck, my nigga. Don't fuck that.
Yes, of course.
Where's the evidence?
Gunlesi.
Nigga, best banger definitely was the worst thing you could have said is best banger. You
Your Honor, since flight is the most significant issue that this honorable court has to deal with for consideration of bond, as the cases that I've already referred to, Mr. Gunlesi would also explain that Mr. Williams prioritizes his family. He's had opportunity after opportunity, even before he was well known. He had an opportunity in 2015 to work with Kanye West, K-A-N-Y-E,
Oh, wow.
West, W-E-S-T, to collaborate and work. It was a rare opportunity. Mr. Williams wanted to bring his family with him, his sister, his mother, and Mr. West stated no.
But he's still
And
he's
Mr.
still
Williams
gangbanging.
said he didn't want to hurt his sister's feelings, so he declined that opportunity. And that's who we are dealing with, Your Honor. He is not a risk to flee. And I appreciate the court saying
Man, making
that
a
he
song
ties
with
to community,
Kanye
but
West
they're
doesn't mean
also
that you're not a
to
risk,
flee the
nigga.
jurisdiction of
That's
the
a
court.
bad. It doesn't even do shit.
Is that true, Mr. Ogunlesi? He's raising his hand to the court and saying, yes. Your Honor, Dr. Matthew Norman is here, I believe, in your courtroom.
Hey, Your Honor, he made a song with Future.
Okay,
I
he's
see you. You know that,
outside,
right?
Your Honor.
He made a song
Hopefully
with
he will
Future.
come in. And
He's not a risk.
Is Dr. Norman outside?
Your Honor, he played the piano last year. I seen him. Yeah, he's not a risk. What piano player you know that's gangster? Come on, Judge. Come on, Your Honor.
Just a
What
question.
are we doing?
were told 6 witnesses about 8 witnesses ago, so I'm just curious how much we're going to repeat.
Yeah, Mr. Steele, I believe that we already have, I was clicking off that as well. By testimony or by proffer.
Nigga be like, hey, Your Honor, Young Thug don't use toilet paper. He used baby wipes. So he's definitely not a threat. Because if he was, he would use toilet paper. Don't you think, Your Honor? Yeah? Yeah? Yes, no, maybe so. What do you think, Your Honor? Yeah? Come on, man.
Offer. This is number 6. Mr. Oglesby would be number 6.
I wasn't counting the proffers.
I'm
Come on,
counting
champ.
those.
What we doing?
Because you want me to
Then I
accept
have
this.
then
Get
I-
out, my nigga.
You want me to accept his testimony, so.
of course.
Yeah, so
Well, I have 3 more witnesses or proffers, but I'd like to make them for the court's understanding.
what's this?
Mr. Williams, where he's being held, and he would, I'd ask him to educate the court what the conditions are for Mr. Williams and how that Dr. Norm is a very well-known psychiatrist, and how the studies show that the conditions that are being placed upon and Mr. Williams is living under are detrimental to his mental health, and they disintegrate people. And that's what Dr. Norman is here for.
Object, Judge, not relevant to the Ayala factors.
It's not, Mr. Steele, and I have great respect for Dr. Norman as well, and having had him testify in court on for the state.
Moderators, please.
I don't believe that would be one of the bond factors. That
Get the spammers out the chat, man. We don't need them.
Well, I'd like you, may I just make my statement for the record then? And I'll do it
Absolutely.
myself. Okay. And if I say anything wrong, I'm saying it's not wrong. Your Honor, currently, Mr. Williams is held 22 out of 24 hours a day in a cell, except for when I or Mr. Adams or Ms. Hornsby goes see him. That cell, according to Dr. Norman, will break a person's spirit. I attached.
But that's not part of the bond factors. In prison, pretrial incarceration is viewed as being oppressive. It's not lost on the court. We don't jail people for shucks and giggles. That's why we have bond hearings, and the case law that you eloquently pointed out tells the trial courts of their responsibilities. But I don't need to hear any testimony on that. It's not lost on the
Nobody
court
give a fuck about that cell, my nigga.
Incarceration.
He's in jail.
Subjects people to. So
he in jail, bro.
I don't think it's relevant for purposes of my bond consideration.
The reason I'd like the court to consider it is as follows. It was not requested by Mr. Williams, but he's treated differently than a typical pretrial detainee.
They don't give a fuck, my nigga.
Protection. That's what the sheriff has told me. And the sheriff is always nothing but professional.
Yo, this judge is getting tight.
The problem with that is it is detrimental. It is punishment.
And
we don't punish pretrial. And that's the cases I gave to the court. And that's why I thought Dr. Norman was important, because having an ill effect on a gentleman who's presumed innocent, and if they can't make conditions for him, I've made those conditions. I tried to put together to this honorable court conditions that would satisfy this honorable court that Mr. Williams would be a good person.
I hadn't made that decision yet, Mr. Steele.
No, I know.
But with all due respect to you and Dr. Norman, that's not something that I need to consider at this point in time. I think it's fair to assume that, and I don't get involved in our good sheriff's business as well, but, he and his colleagues and teammates have a methodology of what they do for the inmates that are there, depending upon what stage they're in. And, that's independent of my determination of bond. So I certainly, in terms of bond and the factors for granting bond, it's not something I need to hear about. I'm going to take it at word that being in jail is problematic for most folks, and that he is presumed innocent, and that the issues of being granted bond or bail, I will take into account. Okay.
And then, Your Honor, we have in your courtroom, Gara, which is G-A-R-A, Dallam, D-A-L-L-A-M. Your Honor, he's a bonds person, representative of Free at Last.
Who's your, I'm sorry, I was writing, Bob. So I'll take Dr. Norman. I will take what you were going to proffer about Dr. Norman. I will accept that, but I agree with the state. It is not relevant for the purposes of my making a bond determination. But okay, so what about, who's the bondsman you have here?
The gentleman who is seated right here, Your Honor, waving at you. His name is Gara, G-A-R-A, or Gara, excuse me, Dallam, D-A-L-L-A-M.
That one more time, D-A what?
D as in David, A-L-L-A-M.
Dallam, okay.
And he's a representative, Free at Last Bonding Company here in Fulton County.
Okay.
He would testify that an ankle monitor can be used even if this court got rid of any electronic equipment in the house. It would have to go to a landline, and then that landline obviously could be just for the, not to make calls, it would just be for the ankle monitor alone. And that the insurance company is willing, they have already vetted Mr. Williams, his ties to the community and his risk of flight, and Free at Last bail bonding and the insurance company are willing to stand behind Mr. Williams' bond if this honorable court grants bond, and under the case that I gave this honorable court earlier. That's for the significance of that case, whereby courts take into consideration the fact that there's another layer of protection.
This shit is fucking comedy, nigga. I don't think y'all realize.
If I said anything wrong, Mr. Down, you need to correct me.
No, sir, you're correct.
Fuck is this nigga talking about, bro? All right, we about to skip. We about to skip to the live, man.
Counselor Michael.
Hold on, we about to skip to the live, like the actual live. I just wanted to show y'all niggas who the witnesses was and shit. But let's get to the live action because we need to see what the fuck the judges gonna come up with now. We gotta see that, respectfully. Let's get to that shit.
Must fall in order for battle to be won. And then it goes on to talk about everyone has to line up between all the sex, money, murder, which is a subset of blood, which basically YSL comes under, that they must all line up under one of 5 leaders, and they must do so immediately. And that is again from Mr. Williams. Your Honor, on 126.
Is that in a, you said that's in a digital?
It's in a digital format, yes, Judge.
Is it a conversation? Tell me the context.
Yes, Judge.
Okay. It's a conversation?
It is, I believe it's in the form of a group chat where Mr. Williams is putting this out to many, but to his crew.
And when did this occur?
This occurred on 125-15, Judge.
Okay.
Okay. Now the next day, 126-15. Remember, now let me take you back again already. On 110-15 was the murder of Donovan Thomas here in Atlanta, Fulton County. Okay. So approximately 16 days later, Mr. Williams releases a video, and he's basically stating, or doesn't basically state, I should be quoting.
Hold on. First of all, sex, money, murder is already known. Like, y'all gotta realize sex, money, murder was in the indictment. Young Thug has always been a member of sex, money, murder, bro. Sex, money, murder is not only in New York, even though it was created in the Bronx. It's all over the East Coast, bro. These gangs travel. Relax. They know what all these blood sets is. Nigga, it's the feds, it's the state. They know about all these gangs, bro. Come on, man. What are we doing? But let's proceed, y'all.
Is that he basically, Your Honor, on 7/7/15 in DeKalb County, Mr. Williams made a threat when he threatened a head of security from Perimeter Mall. And I will tell you that DeKalb County dismissed the case. They thought the threat to be conditional. I don't have that requirement as a predicate in a RICO count. So the terroristic threat resolved or formed from Mr. Williams and his associates entering the mall on those two-wheel hoverboards, and the mall told them they weren't allowed to have them. They informed mall security that to F off, they could do whatever they wanted to do. You can't tell them what to do. Mall security followed them out to the vehicle to inform them that they now have a trespass warning and they have to leave. As the officer, who is now a certified police officer, told Mr. Williams that they can't come back in, Mr. Williams, identified by this now officer, told the officer, if you don't back off, I'm going to shoot you in the face. At that time, the officer or the security guard then did back off. They have pictures on the scene of Mr. Williams and of the car.
First and foremost, the feds and the state is on this case. Little do you know, that just means you don't know what you're talking about, because the feds and the state are working together on the case. I want you to know that. I'm just telling you facts, but let's proceed.
Your Honor, on
Hang tight. Samana? It may be a situation, if everybody concerned, we booked the Zoom for the day, and the day ends at 5. So that's probably why it probably cut off. So let me just see if we can fix that. We may have to send out another link. So just bear with us a second.
yes, Judge.
Let me skip a little bit over. Man, come on. We need a goddamn decision, man. What are we doing? We need a decision, man. What we doing, man? We need a goddamn decision, man.
To all concerned, we're just going to recess in place. That's exactly what
Recess,
happened.
man. Fuck all that, nigga.
So
We
we're
need a
gonna need to
decision.
set up another link. So just give me a minute, okay?
Man, that recess better be 10 seconds. What are you talking about, nigga? Come on, champ. Hey, look, man. I'm gonna keep it a stack with y'all, man. Putting their own input in the shit and don't know what the fuck they be talking about. Most times. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. This is crazy. This nigga done brought Kevin Lyles to the stand. This nigga got all type of motherfuckers. You got a 15-year-old scholar to the stand. Yo, bro, that nigga said, yeah, YSL means what he said? He said YSL means some other shit. He said YSL is not young stoner life to me. Young successful living. Yo, he was talking crazy, bro. He had niggas up there like, oh, this nigga thug trying to go home, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Nigga, that recess better be 5 seconds. Fuck is niggas talking about, bro? NBA Youngboy 4KT Slime, I'm gonna have to make you reflect. Talking about sorry daddy, nigga. The only person who's supposed to be calling me daddy is your grandmother when you not home, nigga. When you not home, I got your grandmother putting her hands on them reflect walls, nigga. But right now, those same reflect walls is something that you gotta look at in Indian style. Fuck is you talking about, nigga? Talking about sorry daddy. If you don't get, yo, bro, respectfully, if you don't get your Frank, if you don't get your Frank loving, skillful ass the fuck up out of here, nigga, take time to reflect, my boy. You're bugging. Chill out. You feel me? These niggas done had 8 recesses, bro. Niggas done had like 8 recesses, bro. Real talk. This shit crazy, dog. Yo, bro, we just need a goddamn decision, man. We just need a goddamn decision, man. But I'm definitely need all of the mook bandits that keep coming in the chat to reflect. Sit Indian style, put on those nice suede leather thong sandals and reflect. You feel me? Cut it out, champ. This is not what we here for. We want to hear the goddamn verdict. We want to hear the verdict. You dig? We need to hear the verdict. Oh, man. Come on. Are we back? What we doing, man? We need a verdict. Is Thug gonna be granted bond? Yay or nay? Oh man, nigga said put your nose on the wall. I'm gonna have to let you reflect, nigga. Cause I'm not talking to you, nigga. Who I don't ever have to reflect, nigga. But yeah, this is crazy, man. This has been a wild day, man. Y'all act like this the OJ trial. Hey, bro, this is a very big trial. This is a very, you know, a very known moment in hip hop, bro. This is hip hop history. This is some historic shit we watching. I'm not gonna hold y'all. This is something that's very historic that we watching right now. We've never seen a Rico like this happen ever in the history of hip hop, bro. This is new. And this is way worse than OJ. This is big news, man. I mean, you niggas acting like it's not a big deal, but it's a very much a big deal, bro. This is the first time something like this has happened in hip hop, bro. And it should be very eye opening for other artists who's gang members and doing what Thug and them was doing, because this could be them in the future. And this is not going to be the only time that this happens. This be happening more often than not happening. You dig? Yeah, let's get them 200 likes to 300 likes too at the same time. We definitely got to get them likes up. Let's hit 300, please. Let's hit 300 likes. You know what I'm saying? Smash that like button if you haven't. We are waiting for a verdict. We need to know, what is the decision, man? Is Young Thug going to be granted bond or no? You know what I'm saying? Or no? I don't see any lesions or hemorrhaging on the like button. Violate the like button. You gotta violate that like button. I ain't gonna hold you, man. But I'm gonna be 100% honest with y'all. Listen, man, Thug is not coming out, bro. Thug is not coming out. Gunna's not coming out. The next time you see Gunna in court gonna be 2023, by the way, just so you know. Thug definitely not coming out. Thug is the head of the RICO. Him being the head of the RICO makes it that much worse. He's definitely not getting hit with no bombs, bro. I'm gonna keep it a stack with you. You talking about a RICO case? The RICO case is very severe, man. You got all types of extortions, murders, conspiracy to murder and etc. It's not looking too hot for Young Thug. We gotta be, we gotta be honest. We gotta be realistic. The odds of Young Thug even being granted bond is very unlikely. It would be a complete shocker if Thug was to be granted bond, but that likelihood, not very likely. There is no likelihood. You understand? So again, I don't see Thug getting out of this one. These niggas is gonna have to sit down and reflect on everything that they done did, man. And look, and the craziest part is people saying that this is racist and whatnot. But look, if them niggas was never involved in crime and doing what they was doing, they would not be in this position right now. So who's at fault here? How long you think you're gonna go out here and commit these crimes and doing all this dirt as a famous person and think that it's just you're just gonna be untouched and nothing's gonna happen to you? Eventually they're gonna catch you, my nigga. You gotta be realistic and stop being, biased because you like their music. You could like their music. Listen, Thug and Gunna are some of my favorite artists in this generation. I think Thug and Gunna is fire. Their music has always been fire to me. But that doesn't mean that they not in the wrong, because I think that their music is fire. Accountability is something that a lot of people have an issue with and have a hard time understanding for some reason. But guess what? You make your bed, lay in it. You do the crime, you do the time, nigga. You want to do crime, make sure you tough. You can't do crime and not be tough, nigga, because you're gonna have to face some hard time, nigga. You think you about to do all these crimes and not be tough? If you're not tough, don't do crime, because there's tough consequences, nigga. You're gonna have to lay on that hard ass bed, sit on that steel bench. You're gonna have to do that. So if you're not tough, stop doing fucking crime, nigga. It's that simple. Ain't nobody above the law, and it don't matter how much bread you got. You think that money means something? That money don't be the motherfucking thing, nigga. You know how many billionaires, millionaires then got locked up? Stop talking about money matters. Nah, bro. It don't matter. Because the richest motherfucker can get locked up, bro. And has been locked up. And that shit don't mean a motherfucking thing, bro. I'm not gonna hold you. And Rico cases don't care about race neither. That Rico shit, bro, Rico don't discriminate. I'm gonna keep it a stat. That Rico shit don't discriminate. So listen, if you not ready to do crime, if you're not ready to do time, don't do crime, nigga. Because you gonna have to suffer some consequences, nigga. A lot of niggas is out here scamming. You know, you doing scams, you doing swipes. You gonna go to jail, nigga. You gonna do federal time, nigga. They not playing with that scam shit. That scam shit could get you an easy 10 plus years. Easy. Niggas think they cool because they swiping shit. So your dumbass get caught, nigga. Then what? Then what? Then what happens? Y'all don't want to hear that shit though. Y'all like doing the crime, but the after effects is not what you ready to handle. Correct? Okay. Niggas could talk all that dumb shit, but you not ready for them consequences, nigga. You shouldn't have been doing it in the first place, nigga. Niggas done fucked their own blessings up. Niggas done fucked up their own niggas done fucked up their own empire. Like, you's a dummy. Why the fuck was you rich still out here on some gang shit? You's a dumbass nigga. You stupid nigga. How you fuck that up? You's a dumbass nigga, bro. Only a stupid motherfucker would be rich as hell on top of the motherfucking world and fuck the whole shit up because they still think they run the streets. Fuck the streets at that point, nigga. So because you don't own nothing in the industry that you in, you don't own nothing in that industry, you still trying to take over the streets to feel, you know, to build your ego up? Stupid shit. That shit is dumb, my nigga. And that's why niggas is right where they at right now. Y'all want to say free these niggas, but these niggas done created this atmosphere for themselves. Niggas don't like to talk about it though. Y'all niggas like to embrace all this crime till a nigga get clipped. Oh, it went too far. But you like gangster shit, right? Cool. Since you like gangster shit, don't be out here crying when niggas get smoked because that's what comes with it. That's the same shit that happened with the King Von situation. Oh, King Von, nigga, King Von was a cold-blooded killer, nigga. What happened to King Von was supposed to happen, nigga. A nigga had the gat that night, and he did the job. He got the job done. If your man's is out there with you, he's gonna defend you. And if he got the gun and they don't got the gun, well, them niggas is gonna be kissing dirt, my nigga. That's it. Facts over fiction, my nigga. This is what comes with that lifestyle. Y'all niggas like gangster shit? Cool. Be prepared to deal with gangster shit when the shit happens, nigga. Fuck all the dumb shit niggas be talking about. These niggas is not outside. Never been outside. They don't know nobody. Never seen shit. Talking stupid shit. You feel me? These niggas like fantasy. Let's be realistic here. How long do you think you gonna last doing dumb shit, bro? How long you think you gonna scam doing whatever type of crime you doing? How long you think that's gonna last? Look at all the young niggas out there in New York, all the young drill rap niggas. Them niggas is very regretful right now. Them niggas like, they forgot about me. I thought we was gang. They forgot about me. Yes, nigga. Because when you get behind them walls, it's not the same as the streets. Nobody's going to remember you. They might mention you, but nigga, there's gonna be another nigga just like you that comes about. Same shit might happen to that nigga. Yeah, you'll be the talk of the conversation. You'll be that. But guess what, nigga? That ain't gonna last for too long because you was out here doing dirt. You was bragging about the dirt, the record, and everything else. And now look where you at, my nigga. Niggas done forgot about you. Niggas is not gonna pay you no jail visits. Niggas is not giving you no commissary, nigga. You are on your own now, nigga. You gonna have to face that time, however much time you getting. You gonna have to do that shit on your lonely, cause pretty much you alone on them walls, my nigga. It's a different world. It's not the same. Again, so remember the outcome of you doing dirt. That's all I'm saying. Niggas want to say free niggas, but guess what? Niggas earn wherever the fuck they was at. It's not like, oh, they in the wrong or some shit. Yo, bro, these niggas had they phones wiretapped by the state. The state had their shit wiretapped since 2015, nigga. So everything in that indictment is facts. And these niggas was rapping about these conspiracy murders that they did. Niggas was rapping about the conspiracy murders that they did. They was reciting text messages that they sent to the hitters to get the job done, bro. Look at the lyrics. These niggas did not hide what they was doing. And everybody that live in Atlanta knows that YSL is a gang, bro. Everybody know that. I know plenty niggas from Atlanta, and I know plenty niggas that still live in Atlanta right now. I been knew about the YSL shit. And I heard months prior that they was gonna come for these niggas. So look, at the same time, if Young Thug and Gunna was free right now, they might be dead, bro. If Young Thug and Gunna was free right now, they might be dead because a lot of the real hitters had just got released right before Thug and them got locked up. Now, I don't know if y'all know that or not. A lot of the real steppers came home while Thug and them, right before Thug and them got locked up. Before the YSL niggas got locked up, there was some real ATL hitters that came out of the feds, my nigga. Facts. Y'all probably don't even know that. So if Thug and them was out right now, they probably would get killed, bro. I ain't gonna hold you. Why you think Young Thug baby mother got smoked? Why you think she got smoked, bro? It was because of his own doings that his baby mother got smoked. But y'all don't want to hear facts, though. Right? Y'all don't want to hear no facts. When you come on my channel, it's always going to be facts. I don't lie on niggas' names. I don't paint no bullshit ass fucking narratives, nigga. You will never see me put snitching on no nigga name if I don't got no facts. You just not going to hear me say bullshit. Because that's not what the fuck I do. Y'all niggas don't want to hear no facts. Niggas just want to be fake internet gangsters and go on fucking YouTube and look at jail shit. Be inspired by jail shit, but don't want to go to jail, which is weird as hell. That niggas is fetishizing jail shit. Why would you even want to fantasize about jail? Pause. Niggas like to look at all this street shit, but not ready for street shit. It's crazy. You feel me? Niggas is bugged, bro. I ain't gonna hold you. Niggas just be talking out their ass and saying whatever comes out their fucking mouth and think they know what the fuck they talking about. Y'all love street shit till that street shit happen. I'm out here to lie to you, nigga. I ain't here to lie to you. Niggas still want to get a PPP loan and whatnot. The fraud way. Why did his BM get killed? Why do you think she got killed? It had a lot to do with what he was doing. Young Thug was still active in these streets. Young Thug was extorting people and everything, bro. What do you mean? All this is in the indictment. Young Thug extorted plenty of rappers. What? Listen, bro. Atlanta always had extortion. And there's always been extortion in the music business. Understand, extortion is automatic RICO. Extortion is a mob crime. The mob introduced extortion to America, bro. Nobody was doing no type of extortion before the Italian mob came to America, nigga. They the ones who introduced it. So once you start extorting niggas, that's a RICO. Automatic RICO charges. It's federal. Shit happens, bro. Automatic RICO. So don't be out here doing no mobster shit if you're not ready for no mobster consequences, nigga. Real shit. Racketeering too, yes. All types of mobster behavior. You know what I'm saying? Like, niggas just be chatting. This is real life shit. This is real life shit, bro. Niggas think everything is a game. Like, nah, bro, this is real life. You know, niggas just be obsessed with this shit, but they ain't ready for this shit. Y'all think this shit is a movie or it's a game. It's not a game. It's real. It's real, bro. shit until niggas get hit with that shit. It's a game, I guess. Handsome. Who was this? That's incorrect. They were the strongest at extortion, but not the first. Listen, as far as extortion is being known, they introduced the shit to be popular. Fuck who did it before them. My point is they made it popular to do. They made extortion popular to do. That they made it a thing, a trend. Now everybody's trying to be an extortionist. Exactly. If you want to do these things, understand what comes with it, man. Yeah, salute to My Name Is My Name. They need to hurry it up, man. Get sit your dumb ass down. Let's get it right, man. We need a decision. We need a verdict. Stop playing, nigga. We want to hear the decision. That's all we need. You feel me? That's all we need, man. Come on, bro. Let's reach that verdict, champ. Stop playing with these. Stop playing. We've been here for hours. Oh man, Thugman and Gatekeeper in Atlanta before the fame. That's a fact. I already know. I know it. Trust me, I know. I know. I know. What's his name? Craze Chaos says, I'm trying to grow old and raise my family. They can test my gangster if they want. I'm not doing it for fun. Hey. Fuck trying to test my gangster. I'm not gonna hold you. I'm definitely gonna defend myself. I don't give a fuck. I'm defending myself. I ain't gonna hold you. That professor was in there fucking thug up. Who you talking about? Young Thug is praying that he make mom right now. They done had the best witnesses they could possibly get. Now, I'm not going to hold you. This nigga's lawyer is dragging it. Mr. Steele is dragging it. That's Thug's lawyer. He's dragging it bad. Your Honor, Young Thug in 2018 won an award for Best Song. In 2017, he also won an award for Best Collaboration. Your Honor, Young Thug in 2016 won an award for Best Album Cover. And like, yo, bro, that don't mean a motherfucking thing, bro. Until you got evidence that he ain't do the shit that they said he did, that's different. That's way different. Just saying a bunch of good things about a nigga don't really hold any leverage because nobody fucking cares, bro. And nobody fucking cares. You feel me? Yvette Miller says gangsters don't tell their business on the internet. For real. That's not true. Niggas will put whatever they want on the internet. Y'all gotta stop saying that shit too. That's an opinion. It's not a fact. Just because somebody puts their shit on the internet don't mean they not gangster. You just a gangster that don't give a fuck. Like, look at AR Rab. AR Rab is really about that shit. But AR Rab didn't give a fuck. He was telling what he really did because he didn't give a fuck. The nigga really don't care. Stop saying that gangsters don't put their shit on the internet. Yes, the fuck they do. Who are you to tell somebody they're not gangster? Are you gonna test them niggas and tell them that they're not gangster? Because anybody that's gangster could put their shit on the internet. They do it all the time. That doesn't mean that they're not on that because they are on that. That's why they put it out there. Because they felt like putting it out there. Just because a nigga's on the internet don't automatically mean that, he's not gangster because he's on the internet. That don't make sense. You feel me? There's gangsters and rats on the internet. There's real niggas on the internet that'll violate you. Y'all got to stop running with these narratives that these weirdo niggas be putting up out there. I think they ready. Yeah, I think they ready now. It look like it. I hope so. But y'all got to stop listening to these Charleston white ass niggas and niggas like that who said, gangsters is not on the internet. Yes, the fuck they are. There's plenty niggas on the internet that will violate you. Trust me. I'm telling you. Niggas just be talking. Yeah, AR Rab just didn't give a fuck, but AR Rab was definitely on that bullshit. I'm telling you, bro. That nigga AR Rab didn't give. That nigga AR Rab said everything in the world on the internet and did not give a fuck. Real talk. What you said? Hold on. Nigga Dre Hill said, when you get out the hood and want to stay, that's what happens. Yeah. Yeah. Niggas trying to dictate who's gangsters and who. And the funny thing about it is, the motherfuckers who be saying that, oh, who's gangster, who's not, don't even know no gangsters, never been around no gangsters, never seen no gangster shit in their life, but have everything in the world to say about what's gangster and what's not. Now, of course, people have their own view of things, but sometimes your view of things might be off considering you've never seen no real gangster shit happen. You never seen nobody get killed in front of you. And I'm just saying that for educational purposes. You never seen a body. You never seen nothing crazy, bro. You never seen no real violence. You know what I'm saying? You never seen a shootout. Never been in a shootout. You can't say or speak on shit that you haven't actually witnessed. You know what I'm saying? You can't just be the average 9 to 5 type of person, not dealing with people. You know what I'm saying? Random says you just described 99% of bloggers and YouTubers. That's really not 99%. However, it's a small percentage. There's some real vloggers out here, bro, that I'm cool with, that I know. And you'll be surprised at who I do know as vloggers. I know a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? Everything is opinionated, but still, there's still facts. There's still facts to a lot of things, bro. Regardless, like, somebody, the everyday average 9 to 5 person who's out the way can't speak on shit that they really have not experienced. They're speaking on what they see on TV and shit, but not what they actually know. But look, man, we gonna see where this shit is going. I hope that they kill this recess shit, because we need a verdict. Fuck is niggas talking about? We need a verdict. I'm not trying to be here all day. I'm trying to watch the NBA finals. And if you niggas is not done by 6 o'clock Eastern time, you're gonna have a problem, nigga. I want to watch the NBA finals, nigga. Fuck is wrong with y'all? You feel me? Oh man. $50 Thug don't get bombed. I got 1,200 that Thug don't get bombed. Who wants to top that right now though? Y'all willing to bet 1,200? What we doing? Y'all want to bet 1,200? Who think that nigga about to get out? Ah man, Warriors in 6. I think the Warriors could take it in 6. I mean, a lot of people are saying that the Boston Celtics have a huge chance at winning the finals, and I don't believe that bullshit for 1 second. I don't believe that bullshit for 1 second. But the Celtics is fine. Let's not act like the Celtics is not a good ass team, because they are. So I think they're gonna fight, man. The Celtics is definitely gonna fight, but we talking about the Golden State Warriors that got like what, 3 championships, and they still got a lot of the same players too. So the chemistry is there. You know, the skill set is there. So we gonna see, man. Charlie Gnarly says, just stop committing crimes. There's hella good jobs out there. Not only are there hella good jobs out there, but you could create your own business legally. You could do business shit. You could do shit that's not going to get you incriminated. You don't have to be a criminal. For what? What's the point of being a criminal? For what? You could do legal shit, bro. There's so much shit you could do. It's just up to you to do it. You wanna be a scammer? That's not gonna get you nowhere. How long are you gonna scam for? You know what I'm saying? There's plenty of money to be made in a legal way. That's a fact. A lot of money is out here for the taking. However, you have to create your own lane, man. Create a lane. If you want to get a job, but create your lane, man. And more important than stocks, you better get on this NFT shit, a legitimate NFT, because the NFT shit actually works. NFTs gonna be like the new stock shit. But there's not a lot of people who doing NFTs right now, so it's the perfect time to get involved with it. But you got to make sure the NFT you involved with is not no scam shit though. So I would definitely study NFTs too. Not gonna hold you. There's a hell of money to be made in that. I ain't gonna lie. You said you can DoorDash and sell crack, multitask. You don't have to sell crack at all, nigga. How about not selling any crack? What you mean to be a multitask criminal and civilian is crazy. You don't gotta sell no goddamn crack, bro. Explode V2 said, Showface, can you do a video on NFTs? I'm not gonna hold you. I'm probably never gonna do an NFT video because that's not what my channel was about. But yeah. If you want to buy NFTs, you gotta use crypto though. To buy NFT, you gotta convert your US dollars into crypto coins in order to buy NFT. But NFTs is definitely the wave. I ain't gonna hold you. One day NFTs is gonna be a huge thing though. That's gonna be the new wave though. You know how many millionaires that got created off NFTs already? There's a lot of new millionaires based off the NFTs. Mondo says, this ain't like the 80s, nigga. Who still sells crack? Not me, champ. Learn Forex is cool. I mean, Forex ain't bad. But NFTs is gonna make you way more bread than Forex right now. On a faster way though. You know. King Ross says you can't show no money from NFTs. I'm gonna have to put you on mute. Time out, nigga. Don't be a weirdo. I want you to take time and reflect. Telling me to show some money from NFTs. Nigga, I'm trying to tell people to get involved in NFTs. And you keep trying to pocket watch me like a weirdo. Stop being a Frankenstein lover, you weird nigga. And go reflect. Fuck are you talking about? Show me money from NFTs, please. No. Stop being a Frank lover, you weirdo. And go reflect. Fuck is you talking about? Niggas is weird. I don't like weird niggas, man. There be a lot of weird niggas that be on some weirdo shit. Like, sometimes you weirdo niggas be trying to inbox me on social media on some weirdo shit. I don't fucking like that shit, bro. And if I see you in person, I would violate you, allegedly. Because the shit y'all niggas be doing is sus. You feel me? Y'all niggas gotta chill, bro. Y'all be on some sus energy. Y'all be trying to pocket watch. Y'all just got mad Franks on top of your gum line and shit. Like, y'all niggas is such Frank lovers. Y'all got nothing but sodium across your gum line. Y'all niggas is weird. Your gum line is 88% sodium, nigga. You's a weirdo. And if I see you in person, I would violate you. Allegedly. Y'all niggas is weird. I don't like you type of niggas, man. I don't fucking like y'all. Y'all niggas is mad sus. Fuck is wrong with y'all, man? By the way, I will be in New York soon. You feel me? Y'all, man, niggas is sus, bro. Oh, man. Post the weirdo DMs. You know what? I might do that one day. I'm not gonna hold you. Niggas be on some weirdo shit, man. NBA, I'm gonna have to time you out again. You bugging. Oh, we back.
Mr. Geary, you can go ahead and continue.
We back.
Yes, Judge.
We back.
And Judge, I believe I finished with Act 51, which is the terroristic threats against the security guards at the mall.
Yeah, you were talking about last.
Yes, Judge. The next one is going to be Act 60 of the indictment, which is on 3/25/16. It is a music video entitled Slime Shit. And it talks about YSL shit, killing 12 shit, 12 being a euphemism for police officers. Fuck a jail shit. I'm a VIP and got a pistol on my hip. Again, and you know, I took what Mr. Lau said, and I don't disagree with him. If we have someone singing these kind of lyrics and isn't living this lifestyle before they sing about it, I don't think that's a crime. That's not the case here. We're basically singing lyrics about what they're doing. The fact that Mr. Lyles isn't aware of what his business partner is doing is the other issue. In that song, it goes, again, fuck the police, fuck the judge, mob life. On 9/24/17, Act 68, I believe 69, 70, 71, and 72, Your Honor. This is a act out of Brookhaven Police Department that Mr. Steele spoke of, where Mr. Kitchens and Mr. Williams were stopped in a car based on a traffic violation, and a stolen weapon was found in the vehicle, and methamphetamine with intent to distribute, hydrocodone with intent to distribute, marijuana with intent to distribute, and a criminal street gang charge arose from that. And the interesting thing on that is when the officer asked Mr. Williams' name, the response from Mr. Williams was, I'm a superstar, can't take me to jail. The officer did. I think Mr. Williams discovered there that that didn't work. Your Honor, on Act 73 on 12/30/17, Mr. Williams appeared in a video. It was called Original Slime Shit, with lyrics, murder gang shit, YSL till you're dead and pale. Act 74 is a music video on 4/12/18 where Mr. Williams states or sings, I never killed anybody, but I got something to do with that body. That would be our position, is that as the leader of this criminal street gang, Mr. Williams probably has never killed anybody. I don't know that to be true or not, but he probably has others do it for him, as we understand the evidence, Judge.
When was that Act 74 music video?
Which one, Judge? I'm sorry.
Act 74, you said.
Act 74 was 4/12/18, Judge.
Okay.
And again, the way as we addressed it in our evidence, Judge, we essentially addressed that as a confession by a party opponent. Now, in Act 75, Judge, which is another traffic event in DeKalb County, it's on 5/18/18. In prior songs, the defendant sings that he travels with snipers, he travels with a dangerous gang, you can't mess with his people. In this, it was a traffic stop, two vehicles speeding down the road. Officer stopped them for speeding. Mr. Williams was driving the lead car in a Porsche. I do not believe any weapons or any drugs were found in that car. And Mr. Williams indicated to the officer that the people behind him worked for him. The people behind him stated that they worked for Mr. Williams. In that car were four individuals, some prior felons, and they were armed to the teeth to include a fully loaded 30-round mag with an AK-47. I do not believe Mr. Williams got any charge other than a traffic ticket at that time. Again, no weapons were found on him and no drugs were found on him. Your Honor, on Act 78 from 1/15/19, it's a video called Bad Boy. Now, understand at a point, Mr. Williams got into a beef, if you will, with another rapper by the name of Rayshawn Bennett, also known as YFN Lucci. At some point, Lucci's mother was shot at, and the song comes out with Bad Boy that says, let's see, you better watch the way you breathe around me, for that breath be your last, boy. Smith & Wesson 45 put a hole in his heart, better not play with me. Killers stay with me. I shot at his mommy, now he no longer mention me. again, we believe that Mr. Williams doesn't sing about random theoretical acts. He sings about gang acts that he's a part of or his gang participates in. Following that,
That
Your Honor,
nigga
in the
not
same
coming
year,
out, y'all.
Act 96 on 8/8/19, Mr. Williams posted on Instagram I guess a post, if you will. It said, ifn or YFN, if ain't like what you do for your mother and your kids, I would have killed you. And that was tagging YFN Lucci. Now, I'll go back and I'll get to that later. But this year, a YSL member attempted to kill Mr. Rayshawn Bennett, aka YFN Lucci, at the Fulton County Jail. That's on video as well. And we can tie that to the gang, and I'll get to that later. Your Honor, on Act 97 from 9/16/19, Mr. Williams posted a video called Just How It Is. There were lyrics in that one as well.
What number is that, sir?
97, I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry.
And it said, last N-word tried me, almost got popped at Lennox. Asked the cops, asked the detectives, they know all the business. Asked the cops and the detective all the jurisdictions. Gave the lawyer close to $2 million. He handles all the killings.
What else?
Mob business.
Keep rapping,
We
nigga. Let's
know
go.
to kill the biggest cats of all the kittens. Also, it should be noted that it's alleged that Mr. Donovan Thomas was the head of the Inglewood family criminal street gang at the time. And irrespective of his position that he might have had in a gang or not in a gang, Mr. Thomas didn't deserve to get gunned down on the road in Atlanta. Position or Act 102 judge from 3/12/20. Mr. Jeffrey Williams is in a conversation with Mr. Huey, also a defendant in this indictment. Now, let me set this up, Judge. And you heard part of this last time, that there was the theft of a car by someone in the gang, Mr. Huey, and it belonged to I believe, a manager of Mr. Williams. Mr. Williams was upset to find out that it was, and he basically texted his folks to say, give it back. Okay. Now, in that, he responds to Mr. Huey, says, if he don't take it back, he gonna die. Followed that, Mr. Huey basically was begging for his life in the conversation. It's very clear that he believed that statement by Mr. Williams.
I know I got haters, man. Come on. Niggas hate me.
In Act 127, Your Honor, from 2/4/21, Mr. Williams is in a conversation with other defendants listed on the indictment, where he stated, YSL rule the world, kid. 24 million on an N-word's head. Y'all just start bringing me the money. Man, y'all stop playing with me. That was in reference to gang activity and basically evidence that he is in charge and all the money goes to and flows through Mr. Williams.
That's that Young Thug Kids Bop version. Fuck is you talking about, nigga? They better hire this nigga, bro. Put 20 mil on N-word's head.
On Act 130 from 4/16/21, Judge, there's a social media post titled Slatty, SLATTY, lyrics stating, I killed this man in front of his mama, I guess sister and his cousin. I shoot out, kill him, not leave a trace.
What else, nigga? What else we got? Come on. Keep going, champ. Go ahead.
He said, you think you a gangster? You got a pistol. Look at my trigger. My trigger start itching. YSL, we going overboard. And again, YSL is a direct reference to Young Slime Life, the criminal street gang.
Keep rapping. Let's go. Come on. Let's keep. Keep going, champ.
On Act 131 on 4/16 of 21, there's a video released called Ski, SKI, with lyrics stating, "I fuck with slats," slacks being basic slang, life's forever. "We come to eat rats. I came with some piranhas. I tote an FN," a reference to a handgun.
What else?
And in that one, which is interesting, Judge, which you'll hear in the evidence of this case, is this is a hybrid gang. This gang isn't pure Bloods. There are rolling 60s in it, Crips. There are 30 deep. It is a combination of many different gangs to form this gang.
Bro, he's not lying too. That's the crazy part.
In
Jesus
Act 132 from 5/13/21, Judge, a conversation where Williams asks the others in the conversation, "Y'all ain't beat him up or shot him yet? Y'all N-word getting soft." And I believe that's directing the activity of the gang to stand up for the reputation of the gang and not be disrespected.
Jesus
Your Honor,
Christ.
Act 139, I'll miss 139, Judge.
Hey, drop more bars. Come on, champ. We need more. Quick 16, my nigga. Quick 16. Hit us with a quick 16, champ.
In Acts 150, Mr. Huey, which I spoke of earlier, had gotten out of jail. He had communicated with Mr. Williams, basically stating, and this is Mr. Huey, "You know I'm ready to handle the business and go sit down if I got to about any one of y'all on my mama." Sit down is a reference by the gang, is I'm willing to go to prison for you. I'm willing to do time for you.
What else, champ?
In Act 155 from 12/31/2021.
What date was that? I'm sorry, one more time.
I apologize, Judge.
What date and
12/31/21, Judge.
and that's predicate act, right?
It's an overt act, Judge. There was a photo released by Mr. Williams with him wearing a YSL pendant with basically with taking his finger under his nose like this, Judge.
Wipe his nose.
Which is a gang sign from YSL. That's one of their signs. When we watch the videos, you'll see that a lot, Judge. Judge, in Act 156 from 1/16/22, defendant released a video, and why we think this is important, Judge, is because the gang signs mostly done by Mr. Williams are YSL gang signs, Young Slime Life. They may argue that it's Young Stoner Life, but in this video, Mr. Williams flashed a Bloods sign, not a YSL sign, a Bloods gang sign. He's also got a photograph where he's got a red B right about here on his chest, Judge, which is a common Bloods tattoo.
Great. We was blood.
On 3/9/22 in Act 172, Williams posed for a photograph with the caption, "Slat Business YSL 4L for Life." Judge.
Got more bars?
We have proffers that from gang members, and some on the indictment, some not, that Mr. Williams is the leader of the gang. He directs the gang activity. This gang, as you can see through the indictment, there are numerous murders, there are numerous armed robberies, there are numerous attempted murders, shootings. Just like, again, I spoke about the Gaudis, about the criminal gang mafia families out of New York. The bosses themselves never got their hands dirty.
That's not facts, bro.
The position here is, Judge, is Mr. Williams directs and has directed all these individuals, Judge. And he recruits people continuously, Judge. We have a proffer, Judge, even from the mother of one of the defendants in this indictment, who told us that Mr. Williams does the community events in order to recruit more people, that her son was recruited by money, shoes, clothes, because they didn't have anything. And now her son, by her statement, is in jail for the rest of his life.
Extortion.
And that's that's the mother from one of the defendants on this case.
You know what that is, y'all?
Judge, Mr. Williams,
what's that, y'all?
essentially is YSL. Everybody else is a follower. There are leaders. We said Mr. Kitchens, Mr. Greer, they are also leaders. But the leader, the top dog, the most dangerous man here is Jeffrey Williams, because he doesn't have to get his hands dirty. He has others to do his business. Judge, in an analogy, you found the others danger to the community, danger to commit additional felonies. And I would say, of the least of them, you found them dangerous. This is the most of them. This is the one that you see the shadow in the back of the room. He's the one directing traffic. He is the one they're all afraid of. He's the one that's King Slime.
This nigga mother's pulling the shots. This nigga, man.
He is the most dangerous of the 28, Judge. And I implore you not to grant him a bond.
Not get out.
He is dangerous. The setup they've given to you is actually going to be less control, not more. If he gets a burner, Judge, and the court may know this, a lot of the communications that Mr. Williams is on FaceTime, because it's not traceable, it's not trackable. And we know that to be their MO. He gets a burner, he gets in there, he runs his gang from inside, and he won't get that, and no one's going to throw his cell. I know what the investigator said, with all due respect. That's not the jail. That's their job. It's not the job of 24 officers being paid by Mr. Williams. That's not their job. The job is the sheriff of Fulton County or any other sheriff where our sheriff decides to put Mr. Williams. That's their job. He is dangerous. And I normally don't do this, but I don't hesitate in this case. Respectfully, Judge, I believe if you give him a bond, we're going to have more witnesses in danger or going to be missing. I believe he's that dangerous, Judge.
Oh,
Thank
man.
you.
Hey, look, man, wiping nose mean you about to smoke. You smoked the nigga. If a nigga got his nose wiped, that nigga got killed. Nigga.
For rebuttal.
That's what wipe his nose means.
Statements too.
All right, Mr. Adams.
Thank you, Judge.
Wipe a nigga nose. That nigga got clipped, nigga. Real talk. That's what wipe his nose means. In case y'all don't know.
Thank you. There's a lot that I want to say to the court. I'm going to finish my argument by referring to exactly what we're supposed to be doing here, which is talking about the law briefly. And I won't take too long because I know Mr. Steele has done an excellent job thus far presenting what the court needs to have in front of it in terms of considering suitability of bond. But I want to start where the prosecution left off and talk to the court briefly about why it's so dangerous to have the state make a presentation in a manner that it did. This statement, and this is kind of emblematic of the entirety of the state's argument. If you give Mr. Williams a bond, that I'm afraid there are going to be more witnesses who are in danger or more witnesses who are threatened or something to that nature, right? And the thing that's so disingenuous about that statement is that just about 10 minutes or 15 minutes into in a prior argument, Mr. Gary conceded that there is no evidence, there is zero evidence that there are any threats being made that can be tied in any form or fashion to Mr. Williams.
Well, I think that's not the statement. I think he said as well that there are proffers from other gang members that he's the leader of the gang, he's dangerous, you cross him and he'll kill them or kill their family. So there is something the court has heard thus far.
If we're breaking it down, Judge, what Mr. Gary was talking about in that regard is what I presume he believes will be evidence in the case. Now, in talking about the bond, in talking about whether or not there is any evidence before the court right? And there was this discussion earlier.
Well, that's a I take you all in your word for it, Mr. Adams. I mean, it's a proffer. I mean, it goes to the state's contention of whether or not he's a danger to the community. One of the things I have to look at in the one factor. So whether or not I take it as its value certainly is dependent upon what I in terms of weighting the situation, weighting what's been proffered thus far.
And I understand that. What I would ask the court to pay close attention to and to keep in mind is that allegations put forth by the state in regards to what they say is evidence that is going to be forthcoming are exactly that, allegations that have not been vetted, that may or may not be accurate, that will come before this court, presumably during the course of a trial. But for purposes of the bond and for purposes of whether or not Mr. Williams, if given a bond, is going to return to court to face process of the court to face these charges, whether or not there's evidence that goes to his guilt or innocence, whether he is guilty or not guilty of these charges, is not what is before the court. So
You're absolutely right.
Yes, sir.
You don't have to waste your breath on that.
Right.
I'm very familiar with Mr. Williams and the other co-accused presumption of innocence, and the court deems them as being innocent of these charges. I'm asked to pass on bond, and the bond is predicated on, on
Thug was shown already, y'all.
Yeah, the appellate case law tells me I need to kind of consider. So
let me then address some specific things that Mr. Gary said, that the state said in their argument.
all right.
The state started their argument by saying that this is all about money, and to be quite honest, that's a little bit of that's a little insulting, because the inference is that if Mr. Williams has means or has resources, that that is a bad thing, that he is trying, in their words, to quote, I can buy a bond, is what the state said. They said he wants to quote, pay his way out of jail, is what they said.
Well, I think that they're saying, it's a fact. Is resources of the accused in this particular circumstance, but it has to be taken into context with other things. So I'm not saying that. I understand their assertion in that regard, but it's more so the court's going to consider it from an issue of its context of other things.
Yes, sir. And one of the things
and wealth being able that you can make bond. I mean, I understand that.
And that's precisely the point. The fact that Mr. Williams may have means or may have resources by which that can be brought to bear. Those resources are being brought to bear for purposes of assuring the court of his reappearance. Because the other way, of course, to look at it, as you've heard from some of the witnesses, is that there's a lot at stake. That if he does not reappear in court, that there are financial resources, there are people's well-being that are put at financial stake because of that. And that is certainly something the court can consider in regards to whether or not he would reappear. Now, what I also think is an inappropriate argument is that the witnesses who took their time to come in here and testify about their knowledge of Mr. Williams, about his background, about what he's done, about his ties to the community, about his investments in the community and so forth, and his employment, his financial status, his jobs. They took their time and came in and testified. I would submit to the court honestly about their knowledge to you about Mr. Williams. I do not believe that there's anything to suggest that anyone who came in here and testified came in because of a financial motive, that they have something to gain or something to lose financially by coming in here and speaking honestly to the court about their knowledge of Mr. Williams, which is what the court needs to make its decision.
I'm taking it from the standpoint of he has significant ties to the
community. And that is, thank you, Judge. And that is exactly what I would suggest that information was. That is what was presented to you, that he has strong ties to the community that weighs in to his benefit if he, as the court considers, bond. Now, one of the things that the state referenced, that the state asked you to consider, was whether or not he is a flight risk. And I want to roll this into a discussion of the bond hearing that was held before Magistrate Judge Wolf some weeks ago.
Yeah, I'm going to mark that as court 2 for purpose of the motion. That was done on the 11th of May and filed into our e-file system, or Odyssey, I should say. So I'll make that part of the record.
Yes, sir. That was on a Wednesday. I was present for that bond hearing. I was there, and I can tell the court that that would have been 2 days after Mr. Williams was originally arrested. He came for a first appearance. I'll tell you that the court, Magistrate Judge Wolf, heard argument from both sides as to suitability of bond.
Bro,
and I will tell you,
it's over, my nigga.
Court, that
there's nothing you can do.
Magistrate Judge Wolf was concerned about the fact that the indicted case was already assigned to you. That there was someone that Mr. Williams was already assigned to on a separate case, a separate but related case. And there were discussions about whether or not, because he had resources, he was a flight risk. Because he had money, he had the ability and the wherewithal to leave. And Judge Wolf, I will tell you, in denying the bond, which he did, essentially indicated that he asked me very many questions about whether or not there was a bond hearing scheduled in front of your Honor, and whether or not you'd be considering the issue of bond on the indicted case, and that he would defer, that he was going to deny bond at the time, but he was going to defer to your Honor because the other case was in front of you and because that case was related. And so it is my impression from the hearing on that day and the denial of bond that the court anticipated that you would be making the larger decision as regards whether or not Mr. Williams receives bond on both matters or not. And of course, both matters are in front of you now.
And of course, there's no bond.
Now,
talking about, nigga? There's no bond.
There is, in regards to flight risk, whether or not he's a flight risk, and some of what the state has said.
Hey, bro.
There is no indication that he's a flight risk. Mr. Gary referenced a failure to appear, and yet conceded that he doesn't know anything about that failure to
It's for
appear.
a traffic offense.
You're fired, champ. You bugging. You're not helping.
It's of diminished value to the court, but I'm more interested in the
You're not
access
helping,
to
nigga.
private jet.
Prosecution
Well,
don't be
that
dunking on y'all
PDK,
like it's already.
And so that's the thing, because our suggestion to the court is that he be placed on house arrest, that he have an ankle monitor, that there are post-certified law enforcement officers who are responsible for making sure he complies with the court's conditions. There is no suggestion on our part that he be allowed to fly by way of private jet, commercial jet, helicopter, or anything of that nature. And so the argument that because he has resources, he has in the past has had access to a private jet, that is something the court should be concerned about. We would suggest to you that is not something for you to consider, because we're not asking that he be allowed to have that access. You heard from Mr. Middlestat, who indicated that what would happen essentially is if the court were to graciously grant bond for Mr. Williams, he would be released from where he's now. He will be transported by law enforcement officers to the location that the court has indicated, and he will stay there. And if he is to leave to come to court, for the only reason that he would do so under supervision and under guard of law enforcement officers. And when Mr. Middlestat testified, I think he was clear and he was deferential to the court in regards to what the requirements would be. These are going to be
bring a pillow to a machete fight.
Law enforcement officers who are sworn to uphold the law. We did not suggest that private security, just any individual off of the street, serve as the people who would guard the house where Mr. Williams would be confined. As a matter of fact, the list of those individuals was provided to the court. They can be vetted. We have indicated and we have suggested to the court that the DA's office can vet them if they want to. They can go to the home. And quite frankly, circling back around to this private jet issue, let me tell you, Mr. Williams doesn't own a jet, has never owned a private plane or a private jet.
Why does it matter?
And he would not even have access to that because we're suggesting that the court not allow that.
It's over with, though, respectfully. Come on, champ.
It is of some particular note that at the time that Mr. Williams was arrested, when the police came to the house. There were SWAT team officials and plain clothes officers who came to the house. We've seen the video. There were individuals approaching the house from different locations with guns. And the state made reference to the fact that one of the individuals tried to run. It wasn't Mr. Williams. Mr. Williams never tried to leave. He never tried to run. He didn't abscond. He didn't try to fight the officers. He went with them. And so there's no indication that he was a danger to flee. In fact, he had just gotten back into town the day before. And you have heard that the only other time when there was a warrant that was issued for Mr. Williams's arrest, he left a tour, left Las Vegas, left those resources, came right back to the cab, turned himself into custody. And so everything that you've heard, all of the evidence, the facts that you heard would speak against him being a flight risk. He is not, and there is no, they've not presented any evidence that he's a flight risk. An argument in and of itself that he is not sufficient for the court. Is there any danger that he would threaten or intimidate witnesses? We've discussed that a bit. There was some discussion in another bond hearing previously, and I'm wary about trying to make comparisons or make reference to bond hearings regarding any other individuals, because Mr. Williams deserves to have his bond considered simply based upon the factors involving him, characteristics involving him, his suitability for bond, not anybody else. But this talk that we heard previously about people with phones in jails, or people making phone calls, or there are witnesses who are terrified right now, other than the state purporting to have other quote unquote, what they say are gang members, or someone's mother who's saying that there are threats being made, that there has been no evidence other than that assertion, that allegation presented to the court. He has been locked up since the 9th. They have access to his phone calls. They're recorded. They have access to, I mean, he's locked up 22 hours out of the day, sometimes 23, but you've not heard any indication here that, well, he made a recorded phone call and there was something that he said in that phone call that we perceive as a threat, or he's contacted someone and he has asked them to do something that we believe is commensurate with intimidating a witness or trying to influence a witness. You've not heard any evidence of that. And so there's simply no evidence to substantiate their allegation that he would be a threat to intimidate witnesses. Now, moving specifically to the indictment, and I heard you say it before, and I accept when the court says, Mr. Adams, I know
Let's get
that
them likes up,
guilt or
y'all. Make sure
innocence
y'all
is
smashing
not
that
the
like
problem
button. We need
of the
about
bond
300
hearing.
likes, please.
And thank you for that.
300
but
likes,
they spent
y'all.
a
We
good bit
need
of
300
time
likes.
going through the indictment. And
Smash
what
the
they
like button,
actually
y'all.
did is they simply read their allegations. These are their allegations, right? These are what they say
Smash
Mr.
that
Williams
like
did,
button.
or what they believe Mr. Williams offenses they believe he's committed. They have to prove that, and there is nothing to suggest that simply because they have sat down and drafted up an 88-page indictment that the allegations in this indictment are accurate or are true. I've been doing this for a long time, and there have been times, many times, when the allegations put forth by the state have simply not been borne out in trial. So the state can stand up here and sound as certain as they want to that, hey, we think the evidence is going to, or we know that the evidence is going to show X, Y, Z. And then when months later, after the court has considered that in regards to whether he gets a bond, when we're actually standing up in a courtroom, they don't prove it, or it turns out not to be true, or a witness that they say is going to say something says something different, or is impeached, or someone is proven to not be telling the truth. And so to stand here and say, well, there's a song lyric that we believe is relevant in the case, and they're talking about a particular incident, is trying to convince the court that their allegations are true, trying to convince the court that their allegations are factual, and there's nothing to say that that is the case at this point. In Ms. Geary, the prosecutor, asked the court to look at several acts in the indictment. Started with Act 9. And the prosecutor, I noticed, read or paraphrased some words in Act 9. all I ever wanted was the money, and then moved on to put him in a wheelchair, taking it totally out of context. This is a song. And the dangerous thing about where we are with them believing that they can pick and choose song lyrics or portions of song lyrics is that they don't know what they're talking about, but they're putting it in here as though it's fact. They could not tell you, I guarantee, who wrote the song, who was actually singing a particular lyric in this song, or what the song is referencing. And that's what's dangerous. And I know at some point we're going to be arguing about whether these song lyrics go to anything specific in the indictment. But Judge, I would just ask you to take a look at what's been proffered or what's been presented to you. Act 9. Read just like Elmo, but I never effing giggle. Well, what does that mean? What does the next line mean? What is that? Is that referencing something specific, a specific count of the indictment? They can't tell you that. and it's taken out of context. Last week when we had a bond hearing, Bob Rubin represented one of the other individuals, said something that I thought, as a 56-year-old person who grew up in Brooklyn with rap music and all of that, thought was particularly insightful. He said, Judge, it seems kind of bizarre, some 50-something-year-old white guy is trying to tell you what, someone who's a rapper means in a particular song. And I don't mean to suggest that that some people have greater sensibilities about rap music than others, right? But what I am suggesting is that it is somewhat disingenuous to simply quote portions of song lyrics when you don't really know what they are, and to take them out of context, and to not know who wrote the song or who's actually singing the song. Because I can tell you, I've poured through this indictment, and I know for a fact that there are some of these lyrics that are quoted or attributed to Jeffrey Williams that were not written by him, and that were not sung by him. But when do we find that out? In the middle of trial? After they've stood up here and try to convince you that you ought to use these lyrics as incendiary as they sound to deny him bond.
He's fighting back.
And then 8, 9, 10 months later, that wasn't Jeffrey Williams. And that's why it's so dangerous to have the state. I'm not going to go through each and every one of them. I was going to, but I'm not going to because I'm mindful of the time. But I think the court gets my point that to quote song lyrics and Instagram posts or group chats or group texts that we, by the way, contest in several of them is not Jeffrey Williams, and that he did not say that and did not say those things. And there's no greater force to them standing up here and saying that he said those things than us saying he didn't. It's on equal footing, and it shouldn't be considered because it's just something that has to be proven later on. In Act, I thought this was funny. Act 70.
Nigga, you look like Tommy from Martin. That's a fact.
The mistake reference.
That's a fact. Yeah. Heard of my mother, nigga.
Act 74. Now that one I thought was particularly interesting and is, I think, symptomatic of what is flawed about the state's argument as to why you should consider everything they've read to you or presented to you in the indictment. Act 74 references Jeffrey Williams releasing a video. They said it was released on 4/12/18. I'm going to suggest that at some point in the future, they'll go back and they'll correct that. And they'll recognize that this was a song, Anybody, that was written by Jeffrey Williams, Nicki Minaj, and a third writer. And that some of the lyrics that are in here are actually lyrics that were sung by Nicki Minaj. But they don't know that. They don't know that, but they stand up here and say this with the force of authority, thinking that that's going to be, and they made that essential part of their argument. What did they say? They said, the song lyrics say, I never killed anybody, but I got something to do with that body. And that, Judge, is exactly where we're telling you that Jeffrey Williams, no, he may not have ever killed anybody that we know of, but he's the man in control. He's King Slime. He's the one who's running everything, and he's confessing it by saying that in this song. I told him to shoot 100 rounds. They left out the other line that comes after that. Like they're trying to movie a body, like they shoot a movie. I mean, it's laughable, but it's an issue for later on down the road. Judge, in regards to the court's consideration, four things, maybe five.
Nigga said Nikki next.
If you
this nigga try to throw that.
You have everything in front of you, Judge, that the court needs to make a determination about whether Mr. Williams is suitable for bond. I would contend respectfully that he is. There are no greater set of assurances that any defendant can put in front of you that can give you some assurance that he will reappear for trial than we have done. We have given the court every possible option I would suggest to you. And we have offered up the ability to have the court have its say in everything in terms of which of his residences, what house he lives in.
Niggas try to violate Nikki just
the
now.
The court and the DA can have access to video feed from the house. So they can see what's going on in the house while he's there. That these law enforcement officers who will be properly vetted, who have been properly vetted, who will be there and will be responsive not to Mr. Williams, not because it's being paid for by Mr. Williams, but because they're responsive to the court, and we'll have reports that are submitted to the court or to the DA's office. So we've put that in front of you, Judge. We're asking you to take that assurance and give it significant consideration, not because he's able to pay for it, but because it's going to accomplish what you need for it to accomplish to show you that he'll show back up. We have suggested and we have put before you the option of he needs to work, but having a studio built at his residence where and inspected by law enforcement to ensure that there's nothing untoward going on there, so he can do what he does. That's his job. We have suggested to the court that, not suggested, we're happy to surrender his passport, even though it's not an issue. He's not leaving the house, but we'll surrender it anyway. We have suggested that his calls can be monitored. And so any device that's used to make any phone calls can be monitored. And so whoever he talks to, whatever he says to them will be known. Anyone who comes to the house has to be cleared and will be known. By the court would have to approve a list of individuals who can come to the house. There is, in short, nothing more that we or any defendant can give to the court to satisfy what the court would have in front of it to ensure that he returns to court. Mr. Williams has not been convicted of anything before, and he stands before this court with some very serious allegations, but we're ready. We're going to be ready. We'll be ready to address them at the appropriate time, but we ask that you consider respectfully granting him a bond that allows him to be free from that custody, yet still confined under the court's order, to allow us an opportunity to properly prepare for this trial, we think it's appropriate, Judge. A bond is appropriate. Whatever you believe is an appropriate amount of bond with all of the conditions that we've put in place or we've suggested to the court or whatever else the court wants to add. But we believe that we have done everything that any defendant could possibly do to show the court that bond is appropriate. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Adams, thank you.
Come on, Judge. What's the verdict, my nigga? What are we doing? Oh, nah, this nigga's talking mook shit. You gotta reflect. You bugging. Put those suede thong sandals on, nigga.
I'm
nigga still
gonna
got
defer
brains.
just a second. You want to take care of Mr. Short, and I can at this point in time.
Whatever you want to do.
Okay, all right. Mr.
Oh,
Short, you want to go ahead and
Can we finish this?
present your issues as to bond, sir?
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. What you doing?
Excuse me, Your Honor. May I use the restroom or I need to be here? I've been holding it for a long time.
It's not funny. Y'all be at ease. Yes, sir. In fact, I'll just take 5 minutes and you can go ahead. Everybody can. You come back, okay? All right.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to recess and place this for a minute. Okay?
That nigga got to piss because nigga, he don't know if he don't know what's next. He said he about to make that call. This nigga bugging to Chan. Respectfully, if I'm not out, this nigga gotta go. Y'all better blow his brains. That nigga wig must get pushed. Fuck is you talking about? Y'all better split that nigga's wig. If I am not out of here today, what is you talking about, nigga? I'm not waiting till 2023 for another bond hearing, nigga. We get in trial in January. We got trial in January, nigga. Oh man. Yo, bro, respectfully. Listen. So I heard people saying, well, Young Thug is not the writer. His name is not in the writing. Well, first and foremost, Young Thug doesn't have a ghostwriter because Young Thug is just like Future. Young Thug freestyles all his songs just like Future and a lot of other rappers do. Actually, a lot of rappers these days do not write their music. A lot of them freestyle their music a lot. They do a lot of punching in the studio. You understand? So that argument is kind of invalid if you know how the studio works and you know how Young Thug and Future record their music, because them niggas freestyle all of these shit. They don't need a ghostwriter because they do a lot of punching in. You know what I'm saying? So that argument is invalid. Now, the other argument that I also heard about was the credits and the writing credit. Well, what you need to understand about writing credits is the sample, whoever is sampled in the beat is also considered a writer, by the way. If you did not notice, when beats are sampled by producers, they have to include who's being sampled in the writing credits. Even though they're not a writer, if they're being sampled in that song, in the beat, they're also considered to be writers. I want y'all to know that. So in producing, for people who do sample these beats, whoever the beat is sampled by is also considered a writer. So yes, Young Thug, Jeffrey Williams is also a writer in that music. But you have to also realize that in writing with the writing credits, a sampler, whoever is being sampled, is also considered a writer on the record. Just so y'all know. So, I guess they would also try to make the argument that, okay, cool. They would make the argument that, okay, maybe he had help writing his lyrics, but that doesn't make sense. I'm not saying that he didn't have help, but I'm saying it don't make sense for the lyrics to match up with crimes and him having help. How the hell would the help be involved in creating the lyrics that match up with the crimes? Understand? That don't make no motherfucking sense. Well, he's not the only writer. Of course he's not the only writer, because you have to use the sampler's name in the writing credits because they're being sampled on the beat. So that's a pointless argument. I ain't gonna hold you. You know what I'm saying? Now, I don't know if the judge knows that, but he should. I don't know. Does that mean that the judge is going to automatically just give him bond based on that fact? 99% chance, hella fuck no, nigga. You feel me? Like I said, you did all these crimes, man, and you know you did all these crimes, and Atlanta know you did all these crimes, and you never hid the fact that you was doing crimes. So you're gonna get locked up, bro. I mean, they have a very substantial amount of evidence against you. They'd have built up a decade's worth of an indictment, 86 pages worth against you. So this is gonna be a very fast lockup. I'm not gonna hold you, man. You dig? Real talk. Jonathan says you can get writing credits for telling someone to switch words around. That's a fact. That's a fact as well. You know what I'm saying? But listen, man, y'all want to be free. How y'all want to be free if y'all thought y'all was invincible, nigga? Now that you realize you're not invincible, now you want to be free? Like, bro, you thought you couldn't get locked up, but the whole time they was building up that case against you. You know what I'm saying? It was building up the case the entire time, and you ain't realizing. You know, it is what it is, man. The feds is already involved. That's what y'all don't realize. The feds and the state is involved. So the feds ain't hiding their hand. The feds is already there, bro. I ain't gonna hold you. You dig? But yeah, this is gonna be very interesting. Uh, we get into that verdict in a few, man. They said 5-minute break. So we should definitely be getting some type of answer here by the judge, and we're gonna find out if the man is officially gonna be bonded or not. I don't think he's making bond at all, because you already heard the judge say he's not really trying to give bond at all, especially after the prosecutor's statements. The prosecutor was dropping mad alley-oops, nigga. The prosecutor was lobbing it off the glass and putting it between his legs like Tracy McGrady in the All-Star game. The prosecution was going crazy. Prosecutor was wilding. He says, Your Honor, he said that this N-word is going to get smoked in Lexington Mall if he tries me again, Your Honor. He was dropping mad balls. Feel me? This nigga not getting no bond, champ. The prosecutor was ill, nigga. The prosecutor was doing the craziest dunks we ever seen in that courtroom. You feel me? So I highly doubt, with all those statements, I highly doubt that this man gonna make bond, man. But you know, the second dude, the bald-headed dude, you know, this person might have, you know, he made some points, but those points were not strong enough to counter what the prosecutor said. His points were not strong enough to match up with what the prosecutor just dropped. Not gonna hold you, you know. Real talk. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy, man. And I'm not gonna lie, man. You know, Shorty in the black dress is thick as hell, but her face looks disgusting, nigga. She looks like a thick ass praying mantis. You know, once you see her face, she look like a very thick ass praying mantis, nigga. I ain't gonna hold you. That face is beat. You feel me? But you know, she a thick ass praying mantis. I couldn't do it, champ. That face is nasty. But she look, you know, but she got some thickness on her. You feel me? She thick, but she look like a praying mantis in the face. So can you really call her a butterface? I don't know. That's a nasty face. That face is nasty. You know what I'm saying? She thick though, but I'm not smashing. I ain't gonna hold you. I can't smash, man. Real talk. I'm not clapping her cheeks. What is you talking about? I'm not clapping nothing, nigga. She got the face of a very illiterate insect. What is you talking about? That bitch face look like an illiterate insect. An insect that cannot read, nigga. Deformed antennas. I'm good, fam. I ain't gonna hold you. I don't want to give her no workings. I'm not trying to pump her guts. What are you talking about, nigga? I do not want to pump her guts at all, nigga. I don't want to do nothing with that. You feel me? Good. Face look too nasty, man. Her face look too nasty. She is not worth my sodium. What are you talking about? I'm not trying to put no sodium in her box. Fuck is you talking about, nigga? She did not earn my sodium, nigga. Her sodium level is 0. She gets done. Fuck is you talking about, nigga? Word, it's been 8 minutes, nigga. I need to hurry up, nigga. Fuck is you talking about? Let's get to that, you know. So let's see if he making bond or not. Stop playing, nigga. You fronting for freedom, you lying. Who you talking about, bro? Yo, come on, bro. What are we doing? We need to hear what's good. We tired of waiting, nigga. Nigga said I'm in prison right now watching this, bro. Hey, salute, champ. Hopefully you get out soon. I don't know what you in there for, but hopefully it's not nothing insane, you dig? Ah man. Hey, nigga said I've been waiting to to take a mean one for a minute. We need to hurry it up, champ, respectfully. You know what I'm saying? I'm tired of waiting. We need to hurry it up, champ. Word to my mother, she looked like a thick ass sardine, my nigga. She got a sardine face. She look like a thick ass sardine, nigga. You know what I'm saying? She's like a sardine with a wig. A sardine face with a wig, nigga. Word to my mother, nigga. That bitch look like a thick ass dustpan. Fuck is you talking about? A thick ass dustpan with a broom with a broom top, nigga. Word to my mother, nigga. She like a a dustpan with broom head. Feel me? Shit like that, nigga. Her hair definitely is the same texture and color of a broom, nigga. The end of a goddamn broom, my nigga. I ain't smashing though. Like I told you, she like a thick ass praying mantis, my nigga. I'm gonna pass on that respectfully. I don't want no action, shorty. You dig? Oh man. He said the nigga the judge is just quickly researching and ghostwriting and such real fast. Yeah, nah, nigga. You bugging. Yo, bro, you talk about my woman? Yes, I am, champ. What are you gonna do about it, champ? Huh? Are you going to fight back for your praying mantis faced queen, nigga? Are you gonna fight back, nigga? Because your girl like a queen ant. What is you talking about, nigga? Are you going to fight back? Cause your girl like a thick ass queen ant, nigga. Word of my mother, nigga. You better fix her face, nigga. Her face look crazy, nigga. Her face need a little bit more weight, nigga. Her face look like a crazy straw, nigga. She got a straw face. I'm good, champ. Respectfully, nigga. Nigga said, meet me outside. Nah, nigga, it's too hot. Fuck is you talking about? Come inside, bitch ass nigga. Come inside. Pause. Feel me? I can't fight you in the sun, champ. I ain't about to fight you in the sun, nigga. We can do it inside though, respectfully. You dig? Stop playing, nigga. Bitch like a fucking wasp. Fuck out of here, nigga. Bitch got a wasp face, nigga. A underdeveloped hornet, nigga. They still on recess. It's been like 10 minutes, nigga. Can we get a move on, nigga? Let's get it moving. Stop. We're not waiting no more. We've been waiting mad long, bro. And we the judge. Did the judge leave? Yo. Come on, my nigga. Nasty ass. Yo, I bet. How much you wanna bet that? How much you wanna bet that the bitch pussy tastes like licorice, nigga? Allegedly. That bitch box tastes like mad licorice. What is you talking about? Word to my mother, nigga. Thug probably tried to escape after he heard bomb. How the fuck that nigga gonna escape? I don't know, bro. Y'all niggas is wildin'. Oh, Roy. Roy, you bugging. I'm about to time you out. You bugging, my nigga. Hold on, champ. Wait a minute. How do I go up on my laptop? This nigga's bugging. See, I done lost the comment. Fuck it. You lucky, nigga. I can't make you reflect right now because I can't find your comment, nigga. Your shit is gone. But we need to find out this verdict. Niggas is bugging, bro. He definitely got a reflector. I ain't gonna hold you. Nigga wilded. Ah, man. Yeah, bro. We need to hurry it up, man. We need to get this shit moving. The NBA Finals is coming on, nigga. We trying to see some action, nigga. I'm trying to see some real entertainment right now. I mean, this was a little bit entertaining, though. I ain't going front. This was a funny ass, you know what I'm saying? This was a funny ass hearing. Like, this shit was mad funny. Like, it was, you know? But, y'all niggas need to fuck around and end this shit, though, respectfully. You niggas got shit to do. You know what I'm saying? Who this nigga said? Big Bugatti says, I'll need a gallon of Henny to knock her down. I'm not knocking her down off nothing, nigga. I'm not knocking Shorty down off nothing because she look like a fucking dragonfly, nigga. I'm not about to fuck no bitch that look like a fucking dragonfly, nigga. That bitch look like a very thick ass dragonfly. I'm Gucci. You know what I'm saying? I ain't about to. Nah, nigga. I ain't about to stroke no bitch that look like a dragonfly, nigga. That bitch. Oh, we back. Let's go, champ. Yeah. Yeah, let's go. Come on. Let's get it. Let's get it. Come on, champ. Let's finish this. Let's get it. I told you I'm not fucking that bitch.
Let me see it, everybody. I'm sorry.
Let's get it.
All right, Mr. Shark, sorry for the delay. Go right ahead, sir.
Well, Your Honor, based on some information that I've learned about today, I'm going to ask if Your Honor would permit me to withdraw the bond motion for the time being, and allow me to refile should circumstances change. There's some things I need to talk to my client about, and I think that would be in the best interest of Mr. Jackson at this moment.
Does he go by Mr. Jackson or Stillwell? Either one.
He goes by Mr. Jackson.
Okay.
But he is also Mr. Stillwell in the indictment.
Okay. All right. Mr. Stillwell, your counsel here is going to withdraw your bond motion for the time being. He'll talk with you a little bit later, if he hasn't done so already, about about refiling it or potentially taking some other steps. Okay. All right. So, sir, you can be excused at this point in time, sir. I appreciate your patience. Yeah.
Can we rein him? I'm sorry.
Yes. Before you go, though, hold on, sir. Mr. Stillwell, hold on. Before you go, Mr. Char, would you like to otherwise have the court waive formal arraignment, have the court enter a plea of not guilty on behalf of your client, and for you to have at least 60 days from the date of received discovery to file any motions?
All those things are my intention. We do wish. Would you like me to restate them, Judge, for the record? What you just said?
Yes, to weigh in.
We do waive
formal arraignment.
We do waive formal arraignment. We wish to plead not guilty, and we would ask for 60 days, at least 60 days from the receipt of discovery in this case to file motions.
Granted.
Thank you.
I will go ahead and, as I said earlier, on the 18th of August at 9 a.m., we will have a proffer session and waiver session on the record for the various individuals that we indicated earlier. Okay?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay. All right.
What we doing, man? What we doing? Come on.
And Ms. Sharp, I will set your client's trial for 9 January of 2023.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right.
All right. Yeah. All right, let's get to the nitty gritty, my nigga. Come on. Come on.
alternatives.
Niggas did mad much just to not get bombed. It's crazy. Make sure you stand on that when it's time.
All right, folks, before I go ahead and get started, whatever the decision is today, this is a forum, a public forum, which all are welcome. However, if you feel that you cannot govern your behavior or have acceptable conduct, please, you can exit the courtroom and nobody will be the wiser. If you make any outbursts or statements or anything that the law enforcement professionals in this courtroom deem to be inappropriate, you will be removed from the courtroom and maybe subject to other actions. So I just tell you that up front because my deputies are charged with the responsibility of good order and discipline. So whatever my decision is, like it or not, I'll give you an explanation for it, but outbursts were not acceptable, okay?
Let's go. Come on, champ.
With that, counsels, I've gone ahead and based upon what has been proffered and the appellate, the case law, I should say, that's been provided to the court, I'll summarize a couple of different things already that you as counsel for the state as well as for the defense, I'm sure aware of. I'm looking at Coleman versus the state, and that's already been cited. That's 361 Georgia Appeals 901. And I'll quote from that decision, which is which comes from our court of appeals, Judge Miller, Beth Miller being presiding judge in that particular case. Excessive bail is prohibited by the Georgia Constitution, Article 1, Section 1, Paragraph 17, and the 8th Amendment to the United States Constitution. And for the 8th Amendment analysis, as you all are aware, that 8th Amendment violation would be excessive bail or no bail, or fixing an amount that is excessive under the circumstances. When fixing, for the purposes of the 8th Amendment, the excessive bail is defined as bail set at an amount higher than the amount reasonably calculated to ensure the presence of the defendant. When fixing bail in Georgia, trial judges' foremost consideration is the probability the accused, if free, will appear at trial, and then the court in Coleman goes on to quote that lesser factors or lesser extent or considerations are the accused's ability to pay, the seriousness of the offense, the accused's character and reputation. I have heard a lot of evidence today about those particular factors in regards to Mr. Williams and his ability to pay and the seriousness of the offenses and his character and reputation from as presented by Mr. Steele, Ms. Hornsby, as well as Mr. Adams. So I have considered those particular issues. Now, also, Coleman goes on to say that a defendant who seeks release on bail has the burden of showing roots in the community. The defendant does not pose a significant risk of fleeing, threatening the community, committing another crime, or intimidating witnesses. And along with this particular case, the court also has considered the seminal case of Ayala versus the state at 262 Georgia 704. And Ayala gives us the framework in Georgia for the purpose of a pretrial bond is to prevent punishment before conviction and secure the appearance of a person for trial, quoting Roberts versus the state, 32 Georgia Appeals 339. And it goes on to say that a trial court may release a person on bail if the court finds the following. So I have to look at the first thing that Coleman directs me to look at is consideration of whether or not the is the foremost consideration is, will he, if free, appear at trial? And then the lesser factors, and these are: a court may release a person on bail if the court finds, one, poses no significant risk of fleeing from the jurisdiction or failing to appear in the court when required. Two, poses no significant threat or danger to any person, to the community, or property in the community. Three, poses no significant risk of committing any felony pending trial. And poses no significant risk of intimidating witnesses or otherwise obstructing the administration of justice. And I'm required to explain any reasons if I deny bond to assist the appellate court in its review, and that the granting or denial of bond will not be set aside unless there's a manifest and flagrant abuse of discretion. That's Jernigan versus the state, 111 Georgia 307, pinpoint 308, very old case from 1903. Now, in regards to considering bond for Mr. Williams, I have considered the first consideration is, if free, will he appear at trial, and to a lesser extent, the other factors. And based upon the court's consideration of the proffer, the two things that the court has significant concerns about are him being a danger to the community and flight. And I'll state for the purposes of the record and purposes of my decision that I realize that Mr. Williams is presumed innocent. I realize that he has the presumption of innocence stays with him until the state, by sufficient evidence, is able to prove to a jury's satisfaction beyond a reasonable doubt, I should say, that he is guilty of the offense or offenses charged. But however, in this particular circumstance, there has been significant proffers about Mr. Williams as being a danger to the community. In particular, the state's proffer that they have taken proffers from other gang members and people who are in this particular indictment and they're not in this indictment, that he is the leader of the gang, he is dangerous, and if he crosses them, he'll kill them or their families. And the predicate or the review of the state, the concerns that I have are some of the statements that he's made about the threats and to others, and that have been chronicled in particular in some of the predicate acts that have been stated for the court's consideration. Whether or not those acts, as Mr. Adams has pointed out, or because they have to be proven at trial, is a discussion for another day. But at this point in time, in the aggregate, those particular discussions, in particular, the proffer from the people that the state has talked to already, the group chat that from 2015 starting, anybody goes into a courtroom and tells God honest truth, they'll be fucking killed, pardon me for the language. And this threat is still being talked about. So that is of a concern to the court in regards to the danger to or threats to persons in the community. So and factors poses no significant risk of intimidating witnesses or otherwise obstructing the administration of justice. That is the court's concern. The two major concerns that this court has is danger to persons and threats to intimidate other witnesses and obstruct the administration of justice. So I have some concerns about the flight that I share with Judge Wolf also indicated, but and I'm not going to hold it against him that he is very successful and has significant means, but those two factors in particular, threats to persons in the community or poses significant risk of intimidation of witnesses, otherwise obstructing administration of justice. The court has considered a number of the predicate statements and And for those reasons in the aggregate, I'm going to deny bond at this time.
Blood clot.
But
deny bond. It's over with, champ.
Mr. Adams, Ms. Hornsby, and
You're gonna have to sit, champ,
Mr.
respectfully.
Steele, certainly, if you should file any other additional motions or things change, I certainly will reconsider the court's position on bond.
You're ahead of a
It's not
RICO,
lost
champ.
on me that I have not given your client a bond, but that is my decision based upon what I have heard. And I certainly appreciate your advocacy on behalf of your client and all of the lawyers thus far who have advocated very well for their clients in this particular position. And I will do my level best to make sure that this case gets tried as expeditiously as possible. And if I can get it on the calendar before the 9th of January.
Say it again. RICO is serious. Y'all niggas is crazy.
So anything else at this point?
This is a RICO. He's ahead of a RICO.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I know the court filed us.
Hey, look, man.
To, I think the public defender's
It's
office
over with,
concerning
man.
Getting defendants who are.
We really ain't got nothing. We ain't got nothing much else to talk about now, do we? I think it's over with, champ.
We filed an motion today.
Nigga going straight to trial in
requesting the
January.
court to respectfully get them so we can get everybody arraigned and get it moved.
Feel me?
Just give the court.
Mr. Garrett, you must think that I have a lot of power. I really don't. You know, I mean, it's just, but in all seriousness, I heard from Ms. Bernard, Gina Bernard, and she right now is working on getting people assigned.
I just want the court tells me to bring copies. I just
Take it to trial, champ. It's over with.
Yeah, we certainly, have you given copies to the?
They've been served. Yes.
Okay, all right.
Electronically.
Okay, if you'll give those to Mr. Kearns right here, so I think Mr. Chamberlain's gone. But we are the court is inherently sensitive as to that issue. And as soon as those attorneys can be appointed, and I have some correspondence from Ms. Bernard saying that they are working on that issue right now.
Smash that
and
like
that
button.
we will certainly get those people
Smash that
brought
like
over as soon as
button.
possible.
Smash the like button.
And if you all
Smash
have any
that
other
like,
information in regards to that, please let us know. But we're tracking that issue. And I will continue to talk and dialogue with Mr. Chamberlain about that, okay?
All right.
Anything else, folks?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay, all right. Thank you for your patience today, folks. Unless you have anything else, we'll be in recess for the time being, okay? All right,
smash that like button before you leave. Subscribe to the channel. Chat. Like the game. Y'all already do business, man. Make sure y'all go to wearetough.com to get your Reflect tees right now. We got the Reflect merch right now. Make sure y'all get that. You get your Sniper Gang tees also at wearetough.com. Y'all salute to the chat. If you want to follow me, Instagram and Twitter at Clyde the Beast. Instagram, Twitter at Clyde the Beast. You dig? If your mother is lonely, Instagram, Twitter at Clyde the Beast, nigga. You feel me? Showface News on TikTok and Showface News on Clubhouse. You already know where to find me at, man. Salute to y'all. Make sure y'all go to wearetough.com, man. NBA Finals is tonight, nigga. Enjoy the rest of your night. I'll be back with more content. Y'all be easy. I'm out. Peace.
Reflect, champs.
Reflect.
Reflect. So I'ma have to put you on timeout, sit Indian style, let you stare at that nice wall in your mother's basement and reflect, champ.
It's time to take a time out and reflect, champs. While you're sitting Indian style and you're looking at your grandmother's wall in that basement, make sure you take time to reflect, champs. And while you're doing all your reflecting, make sure you go over to wearetough.com and get your merch today. That is wearetough.com. And get your merch today. What are you talking about?